Welcome to my channel. My name's Chris, and today is a big shout out to all the moms out there. Tomorrow's Mother's Day, so hopefully everybody in the chat, it's moms and Mother's Day tomorrow. Make sure you get them something, at least call, say thank you, and do the right thing, and make sure you at least, again, call them and say hello. So my wife is going to be just a little bit, and she said to go ahead and start without her. So here I am. So my better half will be here in a little bit. We got Old School Repair Shop, and we got Hilton Nguyen. What's up, guys? Really appreciate you joining in. We also got Antonio. Thanks for joining tonight. So we got a bunch of things that are going on. We have a little redesigning going on here in the garage. We got some packages to unload, things of that nature. Ryan Peterson, what's up? How's it going, brother? Really appreciate you joining tonight. But first off, we're going to want to start things out talking a little bit about one of the new toys that I picked up. So this is the Launch CRP129E. So to me, in my mind, this is one of the cheapest, most expensive non-bidirectional scanners that you could get and make sure you have everything. And so I actually used this today on my mom's Honda CRV. She's got a 2013. It has access to a ton of different modules, and she was clean and clear. She had no issues, no DTC codes, which are diagnostic troubleshooting codes, and it worked really, really well. It auto-VIN found her car and had no issues. The other thing is I really needed to upgrade my scanner game. So at home, we have a 2018 Kia. This actually has an update that will cover up to 2020 Kias, which was really neat. It will not do the auto detect on a 2017 Chrysler Pacifica, but you can use the manual bypass of the auto VIN detect and go right into it, and it shouldn't have a problem either. But we'll do a video on this sometime in the coming next weeks, but really great tool. It has free updates for the life of your unit, and it really makes it a great value because you get a touch screen with it, and it's really handy. So like I can't just go to Harbor Freight and pick up a touchscreen diagnostic tool that isn't going to run me like $800 plus a subscription, where the Launch Creator was able to do everything that I needed. Turned on really, really quickly for what it is, was able to go in the diagnosis. Again, auto detect, as well as your readiness monitors. It's not connected to anything right up there. And it worked really, really slick. I couldn't have been happier with it. And again, it does have the upgrade on there. And again, you can go into some of these modules. Like I said, the Kia, since we have a 2018, if you come into it, it actually says right there, coverage up to 2020. So if you have a Kia and you need some of your advanced features, this might be the definite tool that you want to check out. So we got Dewey Did It in the house. We got Danielle Rosa in here, Jeff Hurley. We got Flying Hawaiian. Really appreciate you guys all joining in. Remember, tomorrow is Mother's Day. So if you didn't get your mother anything, or you spaced it off, make sure you get your things and your ducks in a row really early. Oh, Jim Haynes, how's it going? Really appreciate you joining in. My mother turned 95. And this was her first year being retired after 52 years as a crossing guard. Yeah, the crossing guards kind of were in, how should I say, low demand here the last couple months. Not that they weren't needed, but, with school being out and canceled early, really hope she's, managing her life really, really well. And it's a sad thing that, schools were closed, but it's a safe thing, and that's what we got to do. So we also got Jeep Rubicon JL18 in the house. How's it going? And wife, mother of child. Yep, any of that. So, make sure you thank your mom. If you have your wife and you have kids, make sure you at least get something in honor of your kids for your wife. So that is something that you got to do. Ryan Peterson said, I'm CEO of Last Minute Gifts. I'm right there with you. Except for we actually did really, really well this year. My wife got the air fryer really, really early. And we got Shaka Gillis in the house. Good evening, client graphics. Ryobi is garbage. I don't really have any Ryobi that isn't 12 years old. and I just don't use it anymore. I should really donate it, but you pretty much won't see me reviewing any Ryobi, or at least don't tempt me, but we can talk about that later because my wife will tell you that I probably need to slow down on the products that I'm reviewing and, you know, kind of look at what I have and go from there. So we got Keith Robertson here. We got Brandon from BSS Small Engine. He's got a great little channel. If you haven't checked out his channel and you like small engines, go ahead and check out Brandon. Dewey did it. You know, he's going to be really excited for one of the next videos that's coming out. So we went and got the Cobalt 3/8 inch compact, or as compact as they will make it. Really interesting that they decided to reuse the 123 finish. Like, look at that. Even the finish on there, it's designed like they ripped it right off of the impact driver and, you know, made a 3/8 out of it. But I mean, it is what it is. It still works really, really well for the price. What do we got in here? Matt G6, what's up, brother? And we have, you never can have too many tools. Well, you can't have too many tools. You just got to make sure you can afford them. And we got old school repair. So, you know, this was a little stunner here. I wasn't really looking for a Hercules tool, but was really impressed with the amount of torque that this thing produced. And I know that there's some people that were really interested in comparing it to other things. So we did go out and we picked up the DeWalt 12 volt. And as you can see, this is the newer model. It's smaller. It's got a wicked, like, if you like the tri-lights, I mean, I really, really like the tri-lights. If you need to see something, those tri-lights are where it's at. Where, you know, the Hercules, the Cobalt, but, I mean, DeWalt, love that. Love that tri-light on there. Really lets you see what you need. But the DeWalt definitely has the lowest profile, smallest, most expensive. But it'll be interesting. It'll be a really neat showdown. So DeWalt says it can do 200 foot-pounds. It might be able to. We're going to find out. Cobalt only says 150. Hercules only says 100. How's the U.S. General toolbox you have in the background treating you? Oh, that's the U.S. General 5-drawer service cart. I couldn't be happier. I will be transitioning to a different toolbox in the coming days, but it served me really, really well, and I'm still going to keep it around. Neil, how's it going, maintenance man? Really appreciate you joining. I was, let's see, Greg saying I was at Lowe's today and was looking at the Craftsman tools. They have stepped up their game a little. The new 250 piece half-inch drive torque wrench looks nice. Yeah, 89 bucks, you can't beat that. I jumped into the Cobalt one. That was Thanksgiving Day special. You got that, the quick charger, and the battery for like 140 bucks, 139. Finally, some DeWalt power tools. You know, it's not bad. It's definitely the lightest, lowest profile, and really didn't mind using it. I mean, I can tell you that it feels like the Hercules line definitely mirrored a lot of things, not necessarily off of this DeWalt, but the older generation. Who misses some of at Client Graphics videos like the hardness testing videos? Because he and I are going to be talking about a cool video I have thought up. Well, I kind of would really like to do some more of those, but because, you know, colleges and schools kind of shut down, I can't just readily jump down to the university and get some things tested. But that does mean and remind me that I do have to get to the T25 torque spit. I do have hardness testing on 10 different brands, as well as I've been meaning to do testing on that, and I've just been excited about other things. So we do have Mrs. Graphics, Amy, my wife. She's joining us tonight.
Hi.
So big shout out to her for Happy Mother's Day tomorrow. And she will probably tell you how much she has already loved and is using her air fryer, because we did pick her up one of those. So she got her Mother's Day present early, and it was a good time to share all the Motive X stuff that I will have for Father's Day and the rest of Father's Day to come, as well as a lot of other tools.
Do you even need a holiday to buy tools?
No, yeah, it's like Mother's Day coming up, so it's like a holiday that, I buy some tools and she gets some things, and Father's Day comes around and if she wants something, she'll buy it. If I want something, yeah, definitely.
So what are you talking to everyone about
Neil
tonight?
says Happy Mother's Day to you,
Oh,
Mrs.
thank you,
G,
Neil.
as well as Brandon from BSS
Oh,
Small Engines.
thank you.
And Dewey did it through in there. Hola,
Oh,
chica.
I like all those people. I'm glad you
Yeah.
guys came to my husband's live tonight.
Yeah, so we were just talking about some of the tools. We talked about the scan tool
Oh,
that
yeah.
we
You've
scanned.
done a lot of scans, I feel, recently.
Oh, yeah. I did so many scans that I left the battery on in your
Oh,
car.
that's a
That
good
stupid
story.
push button. Like, you can just walk away and it stays on, and then your car dies really, really quickly with all the navigation and all the bells and whistles on newer cars. That sucker was deader than a doornail in 6 hours, 8 hours. We got
Lesson learned,
Frank
though.
Landgraf in here. How's it going? He says Happy Mother's Day.
Oh, thank
Old
you.
School Repair says Happy Mother's Day. He didn't really say it in there, but he did want me to lay off the dad jokes. And we have a Happy Mother's Day from Jeff Hurley and KFC franchises. Did you ever get the gear wrench 90 tooth I mentioned on sale? No, I didn't. I did go to the Tractor Supply that we had here, and they didn't have any additional gear wrench stuff than what they normally have. So I didn't get a chance to call the North Tractor Supply, but the South Tractor Supply did not have the 90 tooth. I was really excited to go there. Had my fingers crossed, had my mask on. But we were also going to Menards for something else, but they did not have the gear wrench 90 tooth.
I feel like we saw that at SEMA. Is that the one we saw at SEMA?
Yep. Those are the. Remember, they had their whole display and it was missing one ratchet.
Oh, yeah.
And unfortunately, somebody had sticky fingers and walked off with one of their prototypes early.
Yeah.
Before release, and they had a missing incomplete set. I picked up the Cobalt 90 tooth flex ratchet wrenches today, 49, normally 89. Yeah, it's not a bad deal.
So what have you already talked about so far? I am making a Mother's Day cake from my own mother. It's an old recipe that we haven't had in years, so I might be leaving here and then coming back. But I apologize for not starting the live stream with you. But I don't know. I don't know. Well, I know a couple people who are on, but I don't know what you've talked about. I feel like my husband has a bunch of new things. I do not know what all he shared, but what are you talking about tonight?
Well, we talked about some of the impact drivers. So,
Oh, yeah.
I mean, we shot that video today where we
I feel
took.
like I used this one.
You haven't, because I've only used it once. This one is brand new. I didn't tell you about getting this one yet. This is for like the 4th of July. Or whatever holidays between Father's Day and that one.
Like we already talked about, you don't need reasons to buy them. You just buy your tools. You don't need holidays.
We got Amos Cardoza in the house. How's it going? At the maintenance man, brother, I miss you. Wow, we miss Neil too. We were actually supposed to do a live stream tonight with me, Brandon from BSS Small Engines, and Neil. But some things came up between everybody, and not everybody was able to jump on a live stream.
That's
to
right.
get our
It's
second Saturday of every month where we do tool talk on Brandon BSS Small Engines channel. But that's how it is. But everybody can join, and that's really cool. So we do appreciate you guys tuning in. So we picked this one up because we needed something to showcase against the other 3/8-inch drive compact tools we had. And this one seemed like a good choice because if you bought this, which was the 2 amp hour and 4 amp hour battery, you got a free tool. So this is the tool I chose to pick, and that's what we got. So for $129, you got the 2 batteries in a tool and the charger. So that actually was the best value out of all the tools that I picked up, because this one was $149 for 2 batteries and a charger, and this one was $85. But I guess you could pay $25 for another battery, and this one would be cheaper than both of the sets. But then again, you get a 4 amp hour battery with the Cobalt one, so that one seemed like a better deal to me. So that one is we picked up same day when we went shopping. So we talked about that. We talked a little bit about the Hercules. We did not talk about any of the boxes back there, but that's okay. That's for another day.
Did you go to Harbor Freight?
Last week.
Oh, because isn't Hercules from Harbor Freight?
It is.
Okay. I was like, when were you there? This is just old-ish, still new.
Well, last week, if you call that old.
Yes. In your book?
In my book. Oh, well, that's what it is. So we got Greg saying, I wish we could post pictures in the comments, but today my half-inch Milwaukee twisted off a 30-inch earth anchor in the ground. I have the pictures. The Milwaukee is pretty bad. Sad. Yeah, I didn't get a chance to post a picture, but let me see if I can find it, because I can show you that this didn't fully twist off everything that I wanted to, but I wouldn't expect it to, because this one, it's still like 380 or 400 foot-pounds, but let me show you one thing.
Brandon, BSS, or BSS Small Engines goes, she's starting to catch on, Chris.
So that's a, that's a 9/16 wheel stud, and we are going to drop it, but we twisted off the fastener for our rundown fixture. That was a fun little thing. I showed that at the end of the video where we did that, but basically, I think I tested that thing so many different times. I'm surprised that I didn't burn up the brushes on it.
I feel like.
But I stripped out and cross-threaded the fastener.
I feel like that used to be a different color.
Oh yeah, it did. But yeah, we tore that one up.
I have no idea what this used to belong to.
It belonged to nothing.
Oh.
Except for our rundown fixture.
I don't know what that is.
But yeah, if you got the Milwaukee half-inch high torque, I mean, that'll do, what, 1,200 foot-pounds for breakaway?
Did there used to be something on top of this?
This.
Oh, I didn't realize they went
together. Got twisted off.
Oh yeah, I can see it.
Can't really show that. Yeah, that was the wheel stud. It got twisted off.
It's gone.
So we got Amos saying, Brandon, how's it going? And Brandon said, hi back. So we did talk about that. We twisted off that fastener. We did get a new wheel stud. We just ran over to Advanced Auto Parts where we picked that up. I really should just buy a box of them. I think that's going to be a new habit.
Of breaking things?
Oh, no, of twisting off fasteners.
I was going to say, isn't that already a habit?
I need that. I need to get a torch. We loaned a torch to my brother like 20 years ago, and it never came back.
I don't think he remembers.
It was the one with the little bottles, too. So
I didn't know you 20 years ago, so I don't know what to tell you.
But yeah, so I don't have a torch anymore. Really need that back. There's one at a pawn shop for like $240, but I think that's a little high. But the bottles are full, so that actually seems like a good deal. But yeah, one of these days.
What are you telling them you're working on?
What I'm working on? Well,
what's in your pipeline?
Well, we'll have that video hopefully tomorrow of the 3 impact drivers once I get that all compiled and put together. We are going to be doing a video. So the last live stream, my wife forced me to purchase an Icon toolbox.
Correct verb, yes.
So we did end up receiving our Icon toolbox, and we'll be doing a couple videos on that. So we had Dale Lucid just joining in.
My cake timer is beeping.
Oh,
I'll be back.
She's going to run to the cake timer. But we did have our Icon toolbox come in, so we have an interesting story about that product coming in, and we'll go through all the ins and outs of, you know, when you actually purchase an Icon toolbox, what you can expect, how long it's going to take to potentially get to you, all the steps along the way, getting that phone call from the delivery company, getting things set up. So, you know, that will be pretty cool. We're going to have that hopefully Monday or Tuesday. We'll get that thing started up. We got the cat's out of the bag on that one. Yeah, I mean, if you really look, not that way, but that way, right over there at those boxes, there. And then right there, maybe you can make out what that says, but that's some of our boxing that we have for what we unboxed. And we'll go through an unboxing on that, and then we will go through some of the setup on it, and then we will go through all of the different tools that I have. We got hippies and hipsters joining us, as well as Cara Anderson. And Dale is talking away. Maintenance didn't see you here, but yep, he's here. So we got that on the pipeline. What else? One of these days, I'm going to get around to reviewing the Motivex sockets, and I think those were probably the coolest sockets that launched in 2019 with their little grip on the edges of them. They're on sale right now. You can pick those up. I'll probably do a review on the Milwaukee set once I get a chance to do that one too. That's the one that have the square sockets. They're they're unique, but I think there's lots of other values out there. Ryan Peterson said I like the Tecton banner. I have the same one in my shop. Yep, so I got that Tecton banner there. So I got to do a review on the complete 1/4 inch, 3/8, and 1/2 inch drive set, and then compare that to a couple other sets. So if you really look at like what you can get for the $350, so for like $350, $400 max, you can get a complete socket set in 1/4 inch, 3/8, and 1/2 inch drive. But what does that really mean? Well, it means if you go to Snap-on, you would get a ratchet and maybe a shallow and maybe a deep socket set. That's it. Not metric and SAE, just metric, depending on which size you win. So if you got a 1/2 inch drive ratchet, you got a nice, which one of it? Is it the FL80A, HA80? The chrome one, the longer extended handle one. It's around 15 to 16 inches. That's like 185. And then if you picked up a bigger set of shallow sockets, that puts you at like 400. So right there, you'd get just your shallow and your ratchet for $400, but you can get all of the Tecton from the 1/4, 3/8, and 1/2 inch. And that's pretty much a great deal. So we also will do a comparison on that compared to like Snap-on and maybe the Icon stuff, or maybe Napa Carlisle, and say, for $400, what can you get with Snap-on versus Tecton versus X brand? So we're going to do that. Jim Haynes, the Motivex sockets used to be sold under the name of Triangle Tools, sold by Amazon and Sears, and they went away. Motivex picked them up. Yep, that's pretty much kind of what I gathered from them too. So you can do a search for Triangle Tools and see some of their products that they have, and you can definitely tell that they are rebranded, but they're really good. Like, they are great Taiwanese. You can tell that they're machined really, really well, and the facets on the sides, by the time you were to really measure them up compared to some of the other sockets out there, you really don't, it doesn't gain a lot of thickness. The only one downside is they only have them in shallow. I don't really think you would need all of that in deep with the grip technology on the side that they use for those grooves. But if they made them, I would buy them. And
Motivex has the really nice foam,
yes,
like holders. That's what I kind of like about them.
Yes.
I thought you had some lying around.
Yes, I have that whole drawer laying around.
Now, I don't know much about tools, but the one thing I liked about his Motivex ones is this little
with that grip technology.
It just seemed like a really nice way to organize. I saw a bunch of different tool companies in SEMA, and the one thing I was noticing about some companies in their booths compared to others were the organizational systems that they had. And I liked the built-in like trays that they had. So like if you buy I guess their toolbox, you can get the foam molds and then you can organize your tools. I like that. I don't know if everybody likes that, but that's why I like Motivex, is because you can organize it really nicely, and then you can, I don't know, like know if you're missing something.
Well, it's really great because there is a lot of tools and tool brands out there, And, sockets are sockets. There is some difference when it comes down to the metal and the technology and the grip, or the way the fluting is and the detents and everything like that. But at the end of the day, the majority of the time, if you're breaking sockets, then you're either using the wrong socket or you're using the wrong tool for the job. And honestly, it comes down to efficiency and organization. Did I lose a tool? Am I missing it? And the foam really helps keep you organized and keep everything in one spot. But so does a nice little organized toolbox.
True.
Or a little tool case that you can take with you, whether it be, as simple as, here's an SK set, and I can look and say visually in how many seconds? 2 seconds. Wait, I am missing a socket. Yes, I am missing that 14 millimeter right over there. Done. So I can really check and say, hey, do I have everything? If I have foam and I'm organized and it's efficient.
Well, I guess it depends on how you keep your tools. If people keep their tools and things like that, then they don't need the foam. But if you want to put all your tools in your tool chest or cabinet or whatever that's called, I would want foam. I liked it at SEMA.
Well, it really depends. If you look at this one, it's maybe not the best example, but you can take the hinges off of it, and then you can set this just like that in your toolbox without the lid on it, and then you're fairly organized in some sense. That makes sense.
But then, where do you put your lid?
Yeah, because
you don't lose it.
Either you don't use it ever, or you start a box collection of things. If I see something missing, I will stop the job until it's found. And that's unfortunately my mindset too, where I've literally spent hours looking for something when I should have just finished what I was doing, and then I would hope to find it later. But
did you ever find that tool you were looking for that we think one of our children borrowed?
Yes, I did.
Where was that? Something tells me our children didn't take it.
That the children didn't take it.
Where did you leave it?
It was in a drawer I misplaced it. I don't know how. But yes, I was missing a 10 millimeter flex gear wrench, ratcheting wrench, and I found it literally like the other day, and I was really gung-ho the last week or two for wanting to buy the Harbor Freight flex ratcheting wrench set that they came out with. They still haven't got it in my store, and now that I found it, I don't have an immediate need to go buy my flex head ratcheting wrenches. And so now
then that must be a sign that you don't need to buy new tools. But I will just tell you, Brandon's comment about not being able to, like, he keeps working, he has to stop his job until he finds it, like, that was our life the other day. We were outside, we were playing, Chris couldn't find his tool. We literally stopped doing whatever activity we were doing outside, probably playing chalk. We were looking for his tools. We had the kids looking, I was looking, nobody knew where it was. And then I forgot about it until just now when I saw Brandon's comment. I am happy you found your tool, and I'm happy you don't have to buy new ones to replace it.
I'm happy too. That way I can spend more money on you and the kids.
I totally believe you'll do that.
Yes, but I did. Hilton, I totally blame the kids. Because the problem is that they were already playing.
Well, in the moment, it did seem like a very logical, like reason why it was gone was somebody played with it. But I do think our kids are smart enough to not walk off with your tools.
Yeah, but we found a tool in the yard the other week where our youngest was playing with it and just left it.
That sounds about right also.
We've got Mark C joining us. How's it going? Hipsters and hippies. I'm sure we said hello, but hello again. We got C. Adama?
Frank, Landgraf says, take advantage of the kids did it, as eventually they leave. That's true. The youngest is 3, so you get to use that excuse for quite a while.
Yes. I'm going to get to use that for a while. Your timer's beeping. Oh. So we got more stuff going on in the kitchen. Let's see. Dewey, I won toolbox widgets in the giveaway. I need to get some toolbox widgets. I think that would be very helpful. I think it's also one of those things where you have to think of your organization as a tool, where you're going to have to spend the money to get organized and hope that you won't have to buy more tools or replace them, and you'll be more efficient. So a toolbox widget is one of those things that you have to invest in that product. Unfortunately, I haven't gotten to the point where I need to invest in that. My wrench game has gotten better, should I say, in the last couple years. It's still not fully there where I need something like that, but it's getting close. It really is. So we talked about that. We have to do an Icon screwdriver review. So you probably won't see that anywhere. I'm going to have a pretty cool thumbnail when it comes to reviewing those screwdrivers. It'll be something hopefully similar to that. But screwdrivers are one of those other things where I don't use the screwdrivers as much as I used to when I have a bunch of power tools. Now, I'm not saying that there isn't a place for screwdrivers. I'm just saying I don't use them as much as I would have 20 years ago. And I still have all my screwdrivers from 20 years ago. It's just that the acetate handles, they don't look as nice. They've been used. They just get scratched up. I might be missing, you know, one of the nice flathead screwdrivers that I'd use to, you know, as a carb screw, something like that. Now I have lots of snap-on ones just hanging around that I might use something like that instead of. Or I have nice little precision sets of screwdrivers that I use, whether it's for electronics or tinkering or toys, where I'm really using the right tool for the job, and it helps me, you know, not damage my fasteners as well as damage my tools. Now, is there every now and then that I can take a flathead and get it just right in where I would need a Phillips and angle it in? Sure. Is it the best thing to do? No, but sometimes it's the quickest thing to do. It still happens, but, you know, I'm getting better at it. So we're going to do a review on those, you know, and I had Brandon and Neil and a couple of the other guys tell me that I need to review some of my flashlights. So like I have the Braun, and I have the gear wrench, and I have the Husky one somewhere. I don't know where I put those, but we need to do a review on that. Nice thing about that one is it has a replaceable battery, but I really hate that it can't fold all the way down. So you're limited on space where you have to put that somewhere. That's my only disadvantage on that, because once you get one of the lights that'll retract all the way down into just this size, so pretend like this is gone, it's really, really great, and I really like that. But this is a pretty good value for what you pay for it. That's going to make me look around until I find my gear wrench light. Thanks, Brandon. Really appreciate that. I use a screwdriver for every make, read until unit on the outlet. Oh yeah, that's definitely. So I do not. So here's a really interesting one. So the Icon screwdrivers, they come with the smaller flathead, where the snap-on 8-piece set comes with the bigger one. So this works really, really good for your outlets in your wall switches and things like that, where you have to buy the extra set or the bigger set or the add-on set to the snap-on screwdriver to get the similar flathead screwdriver. So, you know, that right there, I mean, if I'm doing my wall outlets, I'm going to pick that versus that. I put the Braun up against an Olight Warrior X Pro. Wow. Dewey, the history of HF LED, I can't see. It moved off to the screen. And the differences. Magnetic drawer locks mod on the US General box. Oh yeah, I haven't. I've seen a couple of those, but I haven't got a chance to do them. They used to. Is that the one where they used to give the free magnetic strips with purchase if you use the coupon, and then they take the chunks of magnets out and stick them on the back to help with the closing? How many total Harbor Freight freebie lights do you have? Oh, so I have.
God, 1,000,000.
So I have this entire box full of lights. So it's how many in there? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 5 times 1, 2, 3, 4. So there's 20 lights in there. And
what are we doing with all the lights? 4, 5,
6, 7, 8, 9. So we got about 30 lights, I believe. That's just right in this general area, not including probably the other dozen that are inside. It's basically like you come home and which kid's closest, and you're like, here's a light. And a light for
Except
you.
it looks like you haven't been giving our kids lights. They're all here.
Oh, these are the ones that I picked up after I've already given it to them.
I'm kidding. My cake is done. Also, it's actually hot in our garage today. I came out thinking it was cold because you put a coat on.
Oh, I don't think it's that hot. I'm sorry.
Probably because I'm baking and by the oven. But Mark C said you need to say hi to his son, Tom. So you need to give Tom a shout out.
Tom, how's it going? Really appreciate you joining through your dad or just watching. So big shout out to Tom. As well as a shout out to Dale Lucid. He does a bunch of Harbor Freight mods to the U.S. General Service carts. Really love his channel for the ideas and things on what he does.
Show us the finished cake. I might consider showing you the cake when the pan is not hot. It's a pound cake.
Okay. Well, let it cool off. And
yeah. It looks really good. I'm very excited to eat it. The batter tasted delicious.
Yes, it was really good. So we got Craig from MC Engineering Inc. joining tonight. I do have to touch base with him. There's something that I would like him to look at for me. And sometimes it's easier just to explain. So I'll show him potentially here. So this, I'll probably be using this in some of my upcoming ratchet braking torture tests. It's basically an inline torque transducer. So what I kind of need is a rundown fixture of it. So the idea would be there's a metal plate on this side that this slips into. There is another metal plate on this side that fits around the opening. And then I can anchor those plates down into wood or a piece of steel that I can, basically screw down and then fix down. So it's a rundown fixture. So if that kind of makes sense, and then I will just take my adapters and go down to the drive size that I need. And then that's the output to the actual readout that displays the torque. So looking to get a rundown fixture made. And well, this is the smaller one. They have a bigger one. There's a bigger one that does 6,000 foot-pounds. And so I'm really thinking about getting that one for 1/2-inch ratchets when we attempt to break those. Because I'll tell you, even though this is 1,000 foot-pounds, it really scares me to do 1,000 foot-pounds on here, because what I've found when it comes to torque transducers is that when you hit the 55 to 70% of the rating of the torque transducer, you have a really, really high chance that you're going to break the strain gauges on them, or the bridges that are actually measuring the twisting in the metal. So on your cheaper products that are rated at, we'll say 750 foot-pounds, that snapback of the ratchet and the tools destroys the inside, because you're putting down force in one direction at, say, 600 or 700 foot-pounds. It snaps back and it basically breaks the innards and the electronics. So at 60 or 70%, 1,000 foot-pounds, or even 15,000 foot-pounds, 1,500 foot-pounds, it's really getting close to that, how should I say, range where you're going to break the innards. And to re-spool one of these is like $700 to $900. And so I don't want to test this for $900, if that makes sense.
Let me take a look at this. I feel like you were trying to hide it from me.
Oh, no, I've had that for a long time.
Oh, no, I went to reach for it, and you were like, this is my precious tool. Like.
Oh, yeah, that's.
How much did we pay for this?
That with.
How much would this run? Someone?
That. So there's their digital display. So it actually works really, really well. But basically just connect the two together.
Oh, so we're going to skip the price. Got it. We're just going to move on to how it works.
It basically turns on, and there you go. So this setup doesn't do the nice graphing. You can get a cable link that'll go this to the computer, but that cable link up is like $295 just to go from that to the USB. So, I don't know if I want to spend $300 on a cable, but it would be really cool to graph it. So something like this with a rundown fixture, which I don't have, I think is around $2,000. And then this is about another $1,500 or something like that. So this right here is like maybe if you buy them as a package deal, might be like a $2,800 to $3,800 configuration. And I need to get a case for it, so I'll probably have to be buying one of the Pelican-like cases, or they call them the why can't I think of it now? I posted a little video on Instagram.
Warrior?
No, it's not Warrior. It's the Apache cases at Harbor Freight. I was thinking, so that's probably what I'll end up. I'll probably get another Apache case.
This is heavy. I'm sorry, I'm not holding it high enough.
Yeah, so it does. It's really neat. It's got all my.
Like do a mini workout with it.
Yeah, you could.
Can I come out here?
No, that's a really expensive. Please don't.
Not for working out.
Yes, not for working out. So that's a very, very cool tool. I wouldn't just pick one up normally. Like 2 years ago, I never would have picked up one of those. But now I would.
Now we own them. 2 years ago.
Does she know about the socket? Do you know about the socket?
Probably not.
Oh yeah, you do. The $3,000 socket.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The black one in gold?
Yeah, that one.
Yes. I don't know what brand it is.
It's only like the coolest socket ever.
So you would know. It's so good for you for knowing. I would expect you to. I would expect me to question that.
And you can get it through Torque Tools Inc.
Oh yeah, that's right. Let's not be rude here. Texas. I don't know the names of all your tools. Just be nice.
Tell her the YouTube channel paid for it. It does. So everything that I make from YouTube gets reinvested into the channel as future tool purchases. So yeah, it does. Tell her the truth. Yep, yeah, we did that. Haha, you're busted. No, she knows. She just knows that there's so many different things that we've talked about.
He buys too many things, and he does not tell me all that he buys. But I think that is partially because if he did, that would be our only conversations would be him buying tools.
So Ryan was right. It was the Apache. We got that. Come on, peeps. Remember your thumbs. Yep, hit the thumbs up. And if you don't like it, then hit the thumbs down twice. I can't believe more people don't use that. It's such a cool little saying.
Or a dad joke. Maybe they don't want to do a dad joke.
Yep. Somebody thinks you are so cool.
Thank you. I mean, you got to just roll with it when your husband is addicted to buying tools, I guess.
Love you. Thanks, honey. Yep. She's a good one. She's definitely worth
so keeping. Lucky.
Doghouse for sure. Don't tell on him. Bros before. Never mind. Bros before
At
tools.
the end of the day, I eventually will find out about them because he gets so excited and he comes and like tells me, he's like, oh, here's this tool, and he's like, I think I'm gonna do a video on this, and like when he's doing the video, he's like, oh, I'm doing a video on this, and then usually it comes up where it's like, oh, where'd you get it? How much did that cost? Okay, and when are you gonna be done with the video? We're gonna do family night. I don't know. So there's eventually the communication, and eventually trickles down to the wife, but like today, for example, you're like, I forget where you told me you were gonna go. I was like, okay, I have no idea what you bought today. I know you bought things.
Those?
I did recognize the yellow thing being new.
What is it?
Okay, I know how to read.
Okay, can you read?
Well, now I can. You held it like this.
I know.
It's a DeWalt.
Yes. She's learning a lot of different things and a lot of different tool brands. And sometimes they all run together, but we do at least share. And she helps me a lot with sometimes thumbnails or different ideas. And sometimes they're better than what I think of. And other times, I just got to roll with what I already have. Yeah. And I'm like, no, I can't do that. That's a fantastic idea. But in order to execute on that, I have to redo everything. And so, yeah, that happens.
I'm more behind the scenes.
Yep.
Making sure the kids are not visible or heard.
Hipsters and hippies. I'm just excited to get my Milwaukee toolkit when it arrives in 2 weeks. Well, that'll be nice. I'm excited to get my my rigid 3/8 inch drive subcompact impact that I paid for with my own money, but didn't really pay for since I bought it the first day it came out, and then 6 days later it went on back order, and now it's still not here. And then you have other channels that get free tools, that get a chance to do reviews on it, and you're just like, that's not cool. That's really not cool at all. But that's not fair, and that's how life is. Princess Jamie, welcome to the channel. Really appreciate you seeing you. So we did pick up one of these just for you. I can tell you that.
Oh, does she also like cobalt?
Yes. Well, she mentioned that she wanted to see or was interested how it compares to the Hercules product. So I initially said, I don't know if it's in the cards. And then somebody else said, you should get the DeWalt Extreme 12 volt. I'm like, nah, I'm not a big DeWalt fan. But Paul, our next door neighbor, that's all he runs is DeWalt.
Oh, yeah.
So I was like, Paul, I mean, would you like something like this? And he's like, sure. So
I feel like you are really liking to buy power tools right now. Like, this is like your thing.
I can tell you guys, if you're going to choose something, power tools on YouTube is not the thing to really pick because it gets expensive really, really quickly. And I should probably go back to hand tools because that can get really, really expensive too. The thing about power tools is that battery system. So it's nice to have brand new batteries, but it's terrible when you have 6 to 8 different brands and now you have chargers just spread out everywhere, and it just drives you insane.
Yeah, but you have some good like electric, well, I guess is that what they're called? Like the electric blower and the weed.
The string trimmer weed eater?
Yeah.
And like, the jet blower?
Yeah. I like that you have them with the battery packs because I can use them because I can't do the gas equivalents to those. I can't do them on my own. And like even the lawnmower that I mow our yard with, it has to be the push start. So it's not the worst thing in the world to have battery powered stuff, but I do know what you mean. It does take up a lot of space on your workbench because you have to power them.
But the difference is to sit. If my wife can't use the tools, then I'm the one that gets to do the work. And that's not always a bad thing. But if she's willing to help, then it's easier to spend the money in a direction that she's going to get a use out of it. And so we really got our money's worth when we switched to electric and went cobalt for the string trimmer and jet blower. And we've really been happy for that. Yeah. So we have AG Tech 45. How are the Tekton wrenches? Well, I can tell you I really like their ratchets. I can tell you that I really like their socket sets. Here's the big one.
Oh gosh.
That's the big old 1/2-inch drive complete set. We really like Tekton. I'm actually using the 1/4-inch drive set to help prop up the computer tonight on top of a bunch of antibacterial wipes.
Man,
and then the computer setup, you know, it's not like I have multiple screens other than the laptop screen and my cell phone. But the wrenches, I really like their angle wrenches that are made in the USA. So if you do a lot of hydraulic lines and things that you need an angle wrench for, the made in the USA ones are really, really top notch, especially for the price. If you look at some of the SK sets or the Snap-on sets, the Tekton ones are expensive, but they're not as expensive as some of the other options out there and are really decent. They're ratcheting wrenches, things of that nature. I do have some stubby ratcheting wrenches and a ratcheting wrench stubby roll-up, and I really like those. Velcro's been holding up, and I don't have any complaints. I mean, I think they're a really good value. You get a ton of tools with their sets, and I don't really have any complaints. I have a bunch of other tools. I went with the Capri Tool Satin Finish 6-point for the ratcheting wrenches, and I have the Icon ones, and then I have some older Stanley ones that were kind of around the time when they partnered and bought out Blackhawk, and so they're industrial ones, and they've held up for the last, I don't know, 24 years.
Tekton had a really nice booth at SEMA.
Yeah, Tekton had a really nice, simple, clean.
You could like literally see every tool they had, and they They had them on tables for display, and then they had this huge wall. It was super cool. We shot footage of it. I don't know if it's on your YouTube channel or on your Instagram, but if you wanted to see that, that was my favorite booth at SEMA. The way it was just so simple and clean, and it was just like you walked, you saw it, you knew exactly who they were, what they sold, and you could see everything. Yeah, and I do like to use some of their tools.
I did like their booth. I was going through a pricing list one day of everything at their booth. I think I was up to like $18,000 or something like that. Wow. And that got you the complete set from like 1/4 inch to 3/4, as well as getting all your accessories and your bits, and then going over to your pliers and your screwdrivers and your wrenches.
They had everything.
And I mean, I got to compile that into a video one of these days. And that'd probably be titled like, what does $20,000 worth of Tecton tools look like?
Yeah.
So that would be another one that we have to do. 6-point ratcheting, Tecton wrenches are working great. Yeah, I agree with you, Craig. They do work. The Tecton angle wrenches are just the best, better than, and I agree with you too, Jim. And we got a couple people leaving. My phone just told me to take a break.
Brandon must have put what is that called? You only give yourself a certain amount of time to be on your phone.
Oh,
what's that called?
One of those time limiting apps.
Yes, I can't think. I know the word. I just can't think of it. Well, good for you, Brandon, for holding yourself accountable and not being on your phone all day. Easy to do.
Either that or it died and he jumped onto his computer now.
No, that's true.
So we got Jim Haynes saying Tecton, yeah, they are in Grand Rapids. The same booth at the PRI trade show. Mm. Yeah, I think that, I don't know if that was the first time they unveiled that booth at SEMA 2019, and then they used that for a while. Because it gets expensive. I mean, if you redid your booth for each different trade show, that could get really, really, really expensive.
I like their booth. I liked it better than a lot of the other places. I wouldn't change it. If I were other companies, I'd walk past Tecton and be like, oh, I want to copy what they did.
Yeah. And I mean, that wasn't like, they don't have like tenure or anything like that at SEMA, but where they had their booth, it was the first booth in one of those farther tents. And it had a lot of good traffic, I thought.
But like you walk in the tent and they're right there. It was good. And they had really nice people working. I liked their people too.
I didn't know how it got there, Brandon said.
It's probably a YouTube video. You can probably figure it out.
Brandon said, I spend 6 to 7 hours on the phone only because I watch live streams and video while working.
Oh, yeah. It's really easy to like bump the hours up on your phone. If you just like set your phone down and put on a YouTube video and then another one plays.
Yeah. I mean, if I shoot video on my cell phone and then I miss Brandon's live stream, and now I'm on a live stream and I'm on my phone here, I definitely have to have a extra battery case to make sure I get through the day. Definitely works out. Yeah. So tomorrow,
like speaking to my phone,
tomorrow we have Mother's Day going on. So make sure you guys, before you know it, here it'll be midnight. If you want to be the best first child to wish your mother on Mother's Day.
That's East Coast only, though.
Yeah, it's East Coast only, but it's still one of those things. Like if you're a family, a large family, and you're not the first child or you're the youngest child or something like that, I don't know. We still have like a big group chat going between both of our families, and if it's still somebody's birthday, there's still somewhat of a race to see, okay, it's 12:01. I want to be the first one to wish so-and-so a happy birthday. So I think, if you are a multiple child in a family, you should make sure that you are the quickest first one to wish mom a happy Mother's Day.
Does that mean you're the winner this year because you celebrated your mom a day early, and you'll probably text her
call
her tomorrow?
Could be, but just sometimes mom doesn't always have her phone turned on silent or something like that. So you don't want to wake her up and then be the son that's, I couldn't sleep. Thanks for texting me.
Yeah, but as a mom, I'd rather like get a text message that my child's telling me Happy Mother's Day versus something ridiculous.
Who's got their cart in the kitchen in your videos? I need to go check that out.
I've seen your cart
in the kitchen in your videos.
Cart.
Well, somebody on one of their channels has a cart.
Oh, they're not talking to you. I'm trying to think. Because you did do stuff in the kitchen, and you posted some videos on Instagram.
Yeah, but no, they're like legit talking similar to like some of those guys that are laying in bed with their motorcycle. This is similar to being in the kitchen with a toolbox or cart.
Yeah, I've seen things online where people get baby changing, or they convert like this into a baby changer or something, which I think is a little
honestly. You remember
pricey.
You remember that one night that you took pictures of me in our one room. I won't make this sound super bad, but anyways, I was gonna do a video with Tecton tools, and when I first got all my Tecton tools, we wiped them down and cleaned them off, and I set them in bed, and then I kind of laid there, and I was like, you need to take a picture of me with all my Tecton tools, so like we can say something like, don't get caught.
I don't know what you're going to do, but I remember taking pictures and I was like, all right, move a little bit this way. You're not centered. Oh, wait. I don't want the lamp in the picture. Move this way. I do remember taking those pictures. That was so long ago.
I had my arm around the opened up chrome just glistening. Yeah. And it was like, oh, it was a great picture. It's one of those things where you're just like, should I post that or not? And then it just sat. Let's see.
There's still time.
Do you have any of the 12-point Tecton sockets? I do not. But they did launch those, what was it, last year, I believe, or so? Because they didn't originally have 12-point. But 12-point, depending on where you're at, aviation will use some 12-point more so than automotive. They're always good to have around. They work. I actually need to do a video on that one of these times where we'll just take a 12-point and a 6-point and we'll just run it to death on an impact and then look at the fastener and see if and how much difference there is in damage. You can see definitely how they grip the fasteners on the corners differently. Really, really easy. So like one of these per se, I mean, that I use only 6-point on, but it would definitely be interesting to measure the differences.
I think I hear one of our children crying.
Okay. Well, thank you for taking care of that. At Client Graphics, I built a transmission in my kitchen and have the roll cart in my kitchen and soon to be roll cap. I think that's pretty awesome. I mean, if I could get away with more tools in the house, I definitely would. Joys of renting a one-bedroom house away from your home. Military life. Can't wait to see things, says Dale. Dale, sometimes we should do a live stream together. That would be a good time, I think. We definitely need a tour of your shop and my shop at the same time, or we'll just call it garage. That would be a good time. I would be up for that sometime. What else do we have? I'd love to just kind of turn that down one of these days and just show you guys also. It'll be really exciting to do some of the icon toolbox review things to share that out. So I'm looking forward to that, especially from the standpoint where it's like when you pay for something, you get and have a better understanding and expectation of what you want in a product versus another. So I think it'll be a good standpoint. At Client Graphics, my shop is packed. I'm moving to Phoenix. Mine is packed too. So it's like this half over here is just kind of mine, and that half over there is all kids and bikes and things of that nature. So I don't want to move. If I did move, it would be to where I'm getting 3 stalls instead of 2 because I really need the extra space. We just don't have a lot of room to build a shop or have a shed in the back. Should I get snap-on? Something gear wrench sockets. Snap-on. I can't read the rest. The word date in there threw me off. Happy Mother's Day from the East Coast, Work Pro Tools. Really appreciate you joining. It's probably Sue, so say hello to Work Pro Tools. That husky sucked in the move. I bet it did. That was the bigger husky. And hopefully you removed a lot of tools from it or made sure you locked it so that it didn't tip over, because I can see that biting some people. Got my new Milwaukee 1-inch impact. That's probably going to be a beast. I do need to invest in some 1-inch stuff. I can tell you, if you break the anvil on a 1-inch drive, depending on the grade of the material, the one test that I know of took over 5,000 foot-pounds before it sheared off the 1-inch anvil. And we'll just leave it at that. So yeah, if you bust the anvil on a 1-inch, you're putting down a minimum of 5,000 foot-pounds. Let's see, I use it for I-beams. That sounds about right. Is it actually a 1-inch impact, or is it more like one of the electronic drivers where it's doesn't have the impact to it? It's got like a gear in there. Trying to read some of the comments here. Oh, for bridges and skyscrapers. Yeah, Dale, we could definitely have both of our wives on there. I mean, I only have one wife, but the two of them together would make it wives for plural. Somebody's talking about a black and pink trim epic. My wife was talking the other day that she would like a colored pink toolbox, but I was like, yeah, it's just a small segment for that, so it drives up the price on something like that, and it just doesn't seem cost effective. They're out there. It's just like you're not going to pick one up secondhand super easily, so you kind of got to go new. I'm thinking about building a paint booth. Well, I guess you could paint your toolbox. Here's my wife. She's joining us. We were talking about
one of our children was crying.
We're talking about the like a pink toolbox or something like that you were interested in.
Well, we were just talking about it. Some of the kids and I were talking about the pink toolbox. I mean, I don't really have tools to put in it, but...
Oh, you would have tools to put in it.
Like I could put like kitchen tools in it.
You can put in whatever you want. Are you saying that you want a toolbox in the kitchen?
I want like cabinets in my kitchen.
Yes, that's going to be another project to do. Oh, guys, I don't know.
Okay, oak is ugly, and I don't care what anybody says. Awful.
Golden oak. Golden oak. You got to be specific.
Sorry. Golden oak is ugly. It's disgusting. It's in my kitchen, and I want it to go away for forever.
Oh, see, we got CP Tool Attic. Happy Mother's Day to all the moms and dads. Yes, brother, really appreciate it.
Yes, all the dads that take care of their moms. Yep.
Yep. So, I mean, it's one of those things out there. We all came from somebody, whether you like it or not. You don't get to pick your mom. It's just the cards that you're rolling. Sometimes you get a good one. Sometimes you get one that has lots of areas of improvement. But sometimes you got to nudge them in the right direction, and sometimes you just got to be thankful that you're here. Yep. So at the end of the day, I'm thankful that I got a good one, as well as one.
You do have a really good mom
that puts up with me, that struggled a lot with my childhood shenanigans.
There's lots of stories.
As well as a good wife that puts up with lots of jack of all trades. That includes not only working on things, but shenanigans and mischievous doings. That's how it works. What do we have? we have.
Are you just reading
I
your...
think we had somebody else join too. Spray them with lacquer paint. Yeah, but see, the oak, Ryan, it's got such a grain to it that it's literally like I need to sand it down and then I need to do a skim coat of a filler of some type and then actually prime them like 2 to 3 times and then paint over them
What
like
you really need to
another
tell
3
people
times.
is that you don't want to buy new cabinet like faces. Like you don't want to buy them new. You'd rather take what we already have, sand it, prime it, paint it, whatever you have to do. But see, like when he comes home and he buys like things like this, I think, oh, there's 1 or 2 cabinets we could have bought. Oh, look, there's a couple cabinets right there. So it's all about priority and what you're willing to spend money on. And if you're not willing to spend your money in one area and you're willing to put it in this area, then that's where it goes.
I already have a sander and I have all the pads for it. I have all the spray nozzles for the paint. We just knew that we couldn't do it in the wintertime because we weren't able to make a paint booth in our garage.
So nice how you shifted the conversation. What he's failing to mention to you guys is that I have to do this work. Well, he has the tool. He's told me that I need to read up how do you do it because that's what you're going to do. Don't act like you're going to do it. You've already told me that I have to do it.
Well, I would like her to educate herself in the process.
If you know the information, then why wouldn't you teach it to me?
Chris has that I got busted look on his face. There's a process.
Yep. I would just stop talking. You're not going to talk yourself out of it.
There's a process that you have to go to, and I'd rather put all the work and do it right the first time rather than try to go back and redo anything. So, yes.
I'd rather just buy new cabinets that go up to my ceiling. Or even just get new face plates and call it a day. Or I don't know what they're called, just cabinets where you just have the face.
Okay, we have the old style hinges, and you would have to find a company that's going to...
I'm just stating a preference. I'm not talking about the logistics.
So, anyways, we will figure that out another day because kitchen cabinets aren't just free. It's not like somebody's going to be like, here, we would like to give you $10,000 worth of cabinets that you would like. And because of the size of them, I would need to have additional help to install them. I couldn't put them in myself. So then we start adding up labor costs on that. Not that I couldn't do it. It's just there's not enough tools to put cabinets up by yourself. It really just helps to have two people. So that's just cabinets.
Now you
have to get countertops.
You don't have to explain yourself. I totally get it.
Now you have to look at and say, okay, this is my opportunity to look at my appliances and say, ooh, should I reconfigure things? Okay, so that means all the appliances that we had
Dale,
from 4 years ago.
We're going to stop and we're going to read Dale's comment because Dale's putting this into perspective for you, babe.
You spent $3,000 on a socket. I spent $3,000 on a socket that was all from the YouTube channel that supported the YouTube channel. I do not have a YouTube channel that supports a kitchen remodel, nor would I want to ask for support to do a kitchen remodel. We have other priorities that we're working on.
Oh, right. DeWalt?
No.
Cobalt? Hercules? Yeah, I know the priorities.
No, my wife fails to tell the story of the hail damage that happened
I'm not thinking about that.
Where we'll get a new roof and 10 different windows installed in our house. So there's a lot of stuff on the plate. So it's impossible to do it all by yourself. Yes.
No, she's saying it is. Trust me, it's possible.
Oh, well, I guess I threw in... I think she mistyped because I have spelling errors all the time where one key word is left out and my brain just automatically reads and puts that word in there. One of the runs on the side of our wall is almost 14 feet. And to have the trim piece of solid wood straight all the way across and get the cabinets up, I guess I'd literally have to go back to the way they originally put them in, which was build them all separately or put them up as pieces and go from there. So
Dale, thank you for the $5 kitchen cabinet fund. You're the best.
No kitchen cabinet fund, because
we still have to, even if we just sand them and paint them, it still will hopefully get done.
Yeah, my wife just has priorities that we need to actually prioritize.
And it's not about I'm not talking, I'm simply stating what I want. It's what I want. It's my opinions. That's all I'm stating.
Oh, it's possible. Yes, anything's possible.
See, I knew it wasn't a
I mean, typo. I had a 22-inch in cab that weighed 250 pounds that I somehow managed to get attached to a toolbox by myself without scratching, denting, or making any issues on it. And it was just my wife and I. And she could not lift it because I couldn't.
Well, I was just there to put the things under.
I could tilt it for
the support,
but
I did not lift that.
Yes. Well, Dale, we really appreciate your cabinet fund that now I guess just got started, because we didn't have a cabinet fund.
I was only saying what I want, and that where certain people will spend money and where they will not. I'm with Neil. Dale. Gosh, Neil. See, I knew you were my favorite.
Neil, I really do appreciate the support that you show the channel. This, however, is not support that I can support. I think it's a misappropriation of funding that I am struggling with right now, because now you guys are making more work for me. So.
Okay, so when you told me we weren't going to do the cabinets in the winter, and now it's spring, almost summer, so was that just a lie to get me to forget what I wanted a couple months ago?
Chris's cabinet making channel sounds good. Put CG on the back burner. Neil, there's lots of things. My wife and I have got to spend a lot of time with each other. I can't believe... So... There was something.
We didn't do projects, though.
What was the other thing that we were talking about, where you really don't know your partner until you do this? It'll come to me. We were talking about something.
I don't have a memory of the conversation.
Well, you'll think of it. We were working on something, and it's like, oh, if you do this, this is when you take your relationship to the next level. We got Doug from Bama Mud Mowers with a $1.99 super sticker. I met Doug when I went to
Thank you for the super chat, guys.
Jay Young meetup in July.
Oh yeah, that was fun. Yeah.
So Doug is a stand-up guy, and he was working on a Craftsman lawnmower about a year ago, and finally got that thing.
Listen, I'm just here to keep you honest. Like, that's my job as your wife. It used to be your mom's job. That torch got passed to me, and I just gotta remind you what's important. Oh, there we go, Princess Jamie. See, projects together. Look at that.
Yes, that is
true. Thank you for the super chat, guys. I really do. I hate my cabinets. They're literally ugly, and I want new ones. He knows this. I've lived in this house for almost 6 years. I was promised new cabinets. We'll have to see. We'll have to see. I mean, it's good to have a nice circle of support that's just like right there on my side.
Yep, Captain Ken said it right there. Bonding. Definitely bonding.
You already told me I was going to do most of the work anyway.
I told you that was just something that I was trying to preempt you with. It's one of those, how should I say, leadership qualities where you try to delegate things because you know that all the fine details are going to kill me if I do it myself, because that's really what it comes down to.
So if I make a mistake, it's on me instead of you doing it, so that at the end of the day, you can be like, gosh, Amy, you did such a shitty job on that, instead of...
Family-friendly channel.
Oh.
Family-friendly.
I didn't know that was a bad word.
You did a less than...
I wasn't given the rules.
Put your teacher hat on and say, would you... what would you say to a child that did under or subpar work?
Oh.
So at the end of the day...
So you think I'll do subpar work?
No, I didn't say that.
Oh.
What I said is that, like, Neil knows what I'm talking about. So if you were to do tile work, or if you did something where something was slightly shorter, but really you didn't notice it unless you did it. So
no, I get it. No, I
lots of
get
time.
it. I get it. You want me to fall, or you want me to take the fall for something that goes wrong. I get it.
There's no
You're trying to
fall.
like, here
There's
you
no
go.
fall here. It is purely looking at something, and I will gloss over it because you were able to make something into a finished product.
Somebody help him.
Whereas
He's struggling.
if I was able to do something myself and there was a miscut or something was not at the exact right angle, like the door jambs that we did, we were able to put in and go through and not only put our filler in, but then paint everything over
You
white.
just want it to be perfect. I get it.
Right.
So then you should definitely put it in the hands of your wife who has zero experience.
You got to learn sometime.
Mm-hmm. Might as well be on my kitchen cabinets.
Right. Yep. So back to the Techno wrenches. I'm just trying to help you out here, Chris. I'm trying to help myself out here. Anything Icon.
Sure.
Yeah, you let me buy an Icon toolbox. So, I mean,
I'm not mad he buys tools. I already know he's going to buy the tools.
Right. So
I just want new cabinets.
If you wanted cabinets, why did you let me buy a toolbox?
Oh, because I know I know where you will. I know you. I know where you will spend your money, and I know where you will not spend your money.
Okay, so again, why did you let me buy that toolbox if you felt so strongly about kitchen cabinets?
I wasn't given a choice to pick between the two.
We've had a lot of bonding time with the whole
Chris,
stay at home.
You need to just stop running your mouth. You need to just
Icon
move
make
on.
kitchen cabinets? No, they don't. But I think
just Icon.
What would we really?
That's actually not a bad idea because then they can put on the little knobs. They could like put their little like icon, so you could like pick out like really like unique. What are those little called? Like little knobs. Is there a different word for it? Could like icon. Be like, welcome to my iconic kitchen. Enjoy yourself.
I don't know. It'd be the kitchen cabinet handle or
yeah, this is a knob.
Yeah,
we'll call it a knob.
A cabinet. Well, yeah, it'd be like a doorknob, but it'd be a cabinet knob. There's probably a technical name out there for it. Sounds right. I'll go with it.
I guess I'll learn when I research this project.
Yes.
Maybe I should do this, and then I can start my own channel, and I can be like, so my husband won't help me do these kitchen cabinets, so I gotta learn on my own. Here's what I did.
Dewey's right there. I can take 3 days on good drywall repair job, and you'll never notice it. But I have done some in 15. Mud, slap, 2 coats, paint, and go. So there's an interesting thing. So we have kids, and we've accidentally made holes in the wall that are bigger than a quarter.
I dropped my nutcracker once. No, like at Christmas.
Oh,
I have like a nutcracker. And there is this hole on the wall, and every time I go up the stairs, I see it, and I think about how I dropped my nutcracker. It's so annoying.
It literally was
like a hole, like a round hole.
A 3-foot size standing nutcracker.
I put him on this ledge.
And she somehow knocked it over and put a hole in the wall. And it's one of those that it's in a spot where I repaired a similar hole.
You had just finished a hole. We still don't know what happened. I'm convinced a car ran into it. I don't know.
When she says a car, she means like a Hot Wheel car.
Like a child's toy.
And so I was so frustrated by the fact that we got a hole literally in the same spot or like 6-inch vicinity that I've just been letting it sit there.
Oh man, it's been there so long.
But the one thing that I found out on some of those larger sized holes where you still may put a little bit of backing to it, but I don't know about you guys if you've ever cheated with your drywall mud and thrown in some plaster of Paris. It dries really, really quickly, and you're able to move on with a skim coat really quickly afterwards. So you just put a little, like I said, plaster of Paris in it, and you mix it up, you slap it on there, but you don't do it crazy because you want to be able to sand it, but not the plaster of Paris portion of it. So that's where you come in with a skim coat afterwards, and it doesn't shrink too much, and you're able to get everything done within the same day. So I don't know if you've ever tried that trick, but it worked really, really slick on ceilings. So when we were doing the ceilings for repair hole, we were replacing some fluorescent lights, and we took them down, and the ballasts had some big old holes in them and things of that nature for the screws that would mount them up. And again, we just mixed up the plaster of Paris with the drywall mud, and the color came out really, really close, and it just helped make everything go really quickly.
I feel like we just need to keep like a can of paint just mixed and ready to go at all times to like get our scuff marks off the wall.
I turned a simple hole in my drywall into a recessed shelf once time.
Is that on your YouTube video? Can I go watch that?
A simple hole. Yes. I hate mudding. Yes. So one thing that I've learned that I will 100% pay for is somebody to do mudding for me. I will no longer ever spend my time doing like a full room. So if drywall is going up for the first time, and you had to mud all the seams, and especially the ceiling to the, yeah, I'm not doing that. The wall to the ceiling joint, no. I will pay to have somebody do that. To me, that is an art, and you just have to do that and find out the hard way what corners you can cut and what corners you cannot, how much mud you can throw down, and how many coats you're going to have to do to make it flush. It's like doing body work, that's another art that it's easy once you get good at it. It's fast or fairly fast once you get good at it. By the way, them lights look great. If that's all you're using for the stream, yes, I am just using the Amazon lights. I think I threw the box away. It's an 8-pack. It starts with a B. I don't remember the name. I'd butcher it. Bartina, something like that.
Well, he would come out here and work on stuff, and the lighting really was bad.
Hey,
I can look it up.
Hey, what do you think over Rigid tools about them? Which tool is your favorite from Rigid? I think Octane is good. I think they're all pretty good. The newer gens, when you start looking at them, I don't have any complaints when it comes to using them. I bought into them because of the lifetime service agreement, and unfortunately, I still have all my tools from them from, what is it, 08? And since I still have the tools and the batteries, I kind of continue to buy into that line. I really like the subcompact stuff. I had my Gen 5 stuff put together a deck just fine. So really, any of the new stuff is great.
Dewey, the name is Barrina.
Yeah.
Barrina. It's a pack of 8. Did you get 8?
Yeah.
Oh. But they're out of stock on Amazon.
Yeah, those are the lights that we put up. I don't know if you can see those. They were like $58. Yeah, those were.
They made a difference.
Yeah, they made a big difference. The easiest thing to change with your videoing, or if you do videos, is your lighting, and you can never really have enough lighting, I feel like.
Yeah.
But yeah, that's all we're using in the garage. And I wish I could do like the whole garage. We only have
Bye, Dale. Thanks
one portion.
For hopping on.
Yeah, Dale, appreciate you joining, as well as your super chat and your support.
Thanks, Dale.
Always appreciate having around.
Great supporter.
Dale mentioned sometime, well, I mentioned to him we should do a live stream, and he mentioned doing a live stream with him and his wife, as well as you and me. So that would be a good time.
That'd be so much fun.
We'd love to do that with Neil too.
I feel like that'd be a fun time. Oh, we could have done a Mother's Day special.
Yeah.
You brought your wives on.
We should have done that.
I think every mother wants to jump on their husband's live streams on Mother's Day.
That's exactly what I was thinking. I don't know. My mom wouldn't do so well on a live stream.
Oh, sorry. I meant the mother of your children.
Oh, yes. I would say, yeah, I'm not sure. It'd be like, hey, Mom, how do you think you would perform on tonight's live stream? From a scale of 1 to 10, do you think you would be a 7? I don't know.
Your mom would probably be like, I don't know. I just get you to do it.
There you go. Very funny.
Dewey. Maybe your wife will come if like we can all hang out together.
I went live with Dale. It was my first. I think, didn't you do a live stream? Well, it was a live after dark with
Oh.
Joe Smith, where you don't really have to show your face. It's just audio.
Oh.
I have LED lights in my kitchen, saves on electricity.
Hmm.
Yeah, we swapped out when we did our kitchen remodel minus the cabinets and countertops because my wife has a hard time picking the selection that she wants. But
What?
we did swap out all of our lighting for LED, and you really like the amount of light that the oak
You mean I
light.
have a hard time picking out? You brought it home. I didn't get a choice.
Oh, I told you. I go, if we take down the.
I wanted the oak light fixture gone years
Yes.
ago.
So we're slowly working on the kitchen part, but yeah, we replaced out.
Don't tell them I can't make choices. I can make choices.
What was it? It was the T8s. No, they were the older bulbs. But
I will not
but I
be able
swapped
to
out the
tell you the name
ballast
of
so it
those.
could take the newer tubes. But
My favorite is once he put the new light in, he's like, "Do you want to keep this one?" And I'm like, "Throw it away. I didn't want to look at it anymore."
let's see. We had. Hey, what you think self-compact tools like the drill driver and the compact tools? I think the impact driver is small. I seem then they look nice. What you think about Octane circular saw? What you think it's worth? Um, again, that's one of those things where they're still very functional. I think I like tools that are in a smaller package that have the same performance as the larger one, and you really have to think about what are you doing with your tools. So I can tell you that this tool here is going to be heavier. So see, I have a nut driver on there. It's going to be heavier than the 12-volt equivalent. So if I'm working like this with my tools a lot, I'm going to want a lighter one. I'm going to pick this one. Now, if I need a larger battery because I'm going to be doing this, then you have to think, okay, well, how long can I be doing this said task with holding my tool a certain way or a certain repetitive manner that it's going to get too heavy for me, and which one am I going to put down first? Is it more efficient for me to swap out 12-volt batteries, or is it better for me to have a larger 2 amp hour battery or a 4 amp hour battery and put my hand down every now and then or switch hands to do a task? So you have to look at, I can tell you for the most part, the majority of the tasks you're going to do between a subcompact like this and a bigger impact like this, they're both going to have the same performance for getting through drilling your screws and driving your screws as you would. I mean,
this really is light.
Part of my videos when it comes down to it is, okay, well, here's a subcompact. It can drill through steel. It can do a 1-inch speed bore. Great, but you're not typically going to be doing that, and those are extreme conditions, so it should meet your normal tasks. I mean, and if you're a homeowner and that's all you're going to use it for, it's going to even meet more of your tasks. I mean, so that might not be something that you need to, even jump into something like this. Maybe you don't even want to step out of your house. You want to just go on Amazon. Maybe you check out Work Pro Tools. They have drills. They have impact drivers. Maybe that's what you want to check out. Maybe you want to check out no-name brands that you've never heard of, but you've seen on the Maintenance Man's channel. Because again, it serves a purpose and a function, and you just need it to do one certain thing, but you want it to come in at a price point that works for you. Well, then that's what you buy the tool for. So maybe you're all into Cobalt like Dewey did it, and you like shopping at Lowe's, and you're going to grow with the system, and you need something more from it. So you're going to need the outdoor power equipment. Not every line has that. So Rigid does not have your outdoor power equipment. So I couldn't fully jump into Rigid, and it's held me back for the longest time because I didn't have a string trimmer, and it's not.
Interrupt you real quick.
Yeah.
Bye, Neil. Have a good night. Tell your wife we said Happy Mother's Day.
Yep, take care, Neil. Really appreciate you and your support for the cabinet fund that I didn't want to get started, but now
you're the best.
Has been started. Jim Haynes, night guys, 12:30 here. We'll see you later.
Oh yeah, 12:30. Text your mom Happy Mother's Day
Yep, there
if
you
she
go.
is alive. If not, hopefully you guys have a plan to speak to your moms some other time tomorrow.
Yep. Well, and then Dewey's saying they're 100% 24 volt and looking to get into the 80 volt. And it just depends. Like,
I don't even know
there are
what these mean.
some string tringers and jet blowers and mowers that are 40 volts, and there's some that are 80 volts. And it's really like, okay, well, you really only need 40 or 80 volts for some of your duration or your power to get through some things. So those might be really good in like a chainsaw setting or a lawnmower setting. But in a power tool, what are you going to do with an half-inch impact driver that has an 80 volt battery on it? Is it going to be even too heavy that it makes sense? And you should be going, air or something like that, or hydraulic. I don't know. I mean, there's lots of different options. You just have to see what's going to be right for you. I left you a link to one of Dale's videos. It's on the Walmart floor cleaning video. Interesting. You can't replace gas. Nah, you can't. I mean, they're getting really, really close, and I don't think economically right now you can replace gas. I mean,
Man, gas is so cheap right now.
yeah, gas is so cheap, but I mean, I'll tell you, if I wanted to do an edge all of our property or even half of our property, there is no way that I would have been able to use an edger on battery power. There's just no way. So I had to go gas to do that. I could go electric with a cord, but that's not what I want to do.
Yeah, but I feel like you still need the alternative, and I don't know if Old School Repair Shop was on earlier. I personally am not able to use a lot of his gas powered like tools outside. Like, for example, I literally cannot physically pull the lawnmower string to get that bad boy started. I need my electric push start.
And the battery,
Really.
we didn't charge it over the winter, and we've already made it a couple times, and it was straining the last couple times. And again, I still haven't put it on the charger. So when we get done with this live stream, honey, remind me.
Oh, I didn't know that.
And we'll go put it on the charger. But that's a prime example.
But like, if you have a wife like me or some child even that wants to help out but can't actually turn on things that have the gas power, the battery power stuff is really convenient for me because then I can help out and I can do stuff. Because sometimes in the summer, well, I guess it's summers of the past, it'd be a really nice day and it's like, all right, I want to mow because the lawn garbage gets picked up tomorrow. He's not going to be home. Maybe it's going to rain, so I can quick mow and I forget what that thing is called. I can blow the stuff. What is that thing called? I don't know the word for it. I can blow the.
You can call it a jet blower or a leaf blower or something
use
like that.
The leaf blower thing, and I can get everything taken care of. But I'm not going to be able to do those sort of things if he doesn't have battery power stuff. So.
And now I look at that, and so it works great in that setting. So the jet blower, leaf blower works great as a blower. It does not work good as a leaf picker upper, sucker upper, chipper per se, or leaf shredder, where my gas leaf blower slash leaf vac shredder tool works great. Now they don't make a similar powerful and can go as long leaf blower slash leaf vac slash shredder that goes and puts all the leaves into a fine powder and pieces where you actually reduce your storage amount by 30 to 70% because it's not efficient. It's just not an efficient use of electric motor with battery power.
Yeah.
So they make them corded but not battery, because then it gets to a point of where it's too heavy and it's too inefficient. So you really have to look. There's certain scenarios where it's just not efficient.
It all comes down to efficiency, preference, and
weight.
Amos, have a good night. If you scroll up.
Amos Cardoza, really appreciate you joining.
Scroll up a little bit more. Princess Jamie said something. I couldn't read it all from far away.
Did I pass it?
Go down, 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 go down. Oh, there, up one, up to me. When I was a girl, I put a deck lag through a socket and at the end of a DeWalt drill and took a ripcord assembly off and started it with the drill and socket. Oh, that's a cool idea.
Yep. Yep. Now they all have the little mesh over, so you can't do that, so you'd have to strip that off. And a lot of them have plastic fins and all that good stuff.
Princess Jamie, I'm not sure what you do for a living, but you sound like a bad. I'm not allowed to say the word. You sound really awesome.
Jack of all trades.
Yeah.
Yep.
Stop myself that time. Sorry.
You know what? We have other people join the channel that say way worse things. We're just.
Oh, I love when Justin joins the live stream. It's fun to hear him not cuss.
What do you think of Milwaukee tools? Are they the best to buy? They cost a lot, but you need a tool to last longer. I like Milwaukee. It's one of those things where you gotta pay the price to play, and I think that they make some fantastic tools. I don't think they would be in business if they sold a bad tool. It's just one of those things. I mean, you buy into the battery system and then you continue to like it. They have all of your power tools and they got a great lineup. I was actually talking with our neighbor today about power tools, and we're like, we really like our Bosch radio that we can use, and we like the functionality. And he goes, I never really bought into those, but the guys at work, they're using the Milwaukee stuff because they bought into the line, and then they continue to buy more and more and more. And he's like, yeah, I never needed to buy a job site radio because I plug it in the wall and it works. And he's not talking about a battery powered one. He's talking about like an old school radio that doesn't have Bluetooth connectivity and things like that.
We're talking like old school.
Yes, we're talking like flip clock, old school kind of thing. And it's great. It works and it serves a function. And then there's all these neat tools and gadgets that you can use and buy into. And I think Milwaukee has some of those neat, shiny tools and gadgets. And you really just have to look. It gets to one of those things. Do I need this or do I want this?
The answer to that question for you a lot of times is want.
Buy.
Is not need.
Yes. So, yeah, I mean, it works. I don't know. I just really haven't looked at the Milwaukee products too much.
I feel like I've seen, like, you can buy them at, like, is it like Lowe's? Home Depot?
Lowe's? Home Depot for the most part.
Is it Home Depot? Yeah. I can picture them at one of the places.
Home Depot.
Yeah.
Yep.
It's probably from when we go to the Home Depot kids workshops, although we haven't gone there in a while, but I can distinctly see the red with the white writing.
And then
so that's a Home Depot.
And then each little different supply company is different that I'll go to locally. So like Too Fast Tool, they are Milwaukee. They also have DeWalt, and then Titan Tools, they are like they have all big three. So yeah. What do we have here? I went to diesel school in 2004, Army National Guard, trucking, still active duty, but unfortunately not a mechanic. Hippies. One day we will have to hang out, Jamie. I am thinking of a V8 garden tractor when I get the money. Heck, V8 tillers. I don't know. I have a tiller. It's not a V8. It's that old Craftsman.
It's like from 1970.
Yeah, but it works. That's the thing.
It literally looks like it's like ripped from like
it is.
An
I think
old
it's
school movie.
I think it's 70.
We looked at it. Yeah, it's like that sounds about right.
Yeah, but it still works.
It worked, man. That thing was. I got video of you using that.
Yeah, I had to tinker with the carb and clean it up, even though we drained it from gas the last time. It was the time before that we didn't drain it from gas.
I thought about that the other day because when I was mowing, how like where you fixed that slope for the water to drain off, I was thinking how nice it was, and I remember like how old that thing was, and I didn't think you were going to get it to work, and then you got it to work, and it did its job, and our grass looks really good where you did your.
That's one of those things where a rototiller, I mean, you need a good one, but you never want to spend the money because you're only going to use it one or two times.
Oh man, you barely use it. Like at the end of the day, you spent more time tinkering with it than you actually did like using it for the job.
And that's where sometimes a rental comes in really good.
Yeah.
And you just have to look at what your trade-off is. I mean, they make some of those littler 49cc tillers, but that's assuming that you're not tilling into clay and all that other stuff. And there's no way that little 6-inch garden ant or whatever they're called would have worked out for us. But
sorry, I keep yawning.
Yeah, you know, we are wearing out Mom for Mother's Day here.
It's okay. You're gonna let me sleep in.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes, we are gonna let her sleep in. We probably will not do breakfast in bed for her, even though the kids suggested it. It's just one of those things that
I highly doubt my children suggested bringing me breakfast
They
in bed.
did.
They know how I feel about eating outside of the kitchen.
They did. One of your children did mention cooking you breakfast in bed, and I said,
That's
we
sweet.
can make breakfast for Mom, and then you can go get her. There's something about crumbs
I hate when people eat outside of the kitchen.
that infuriate my wife.
Okay. Probably majority of you do not run into this issue unless maybe you're the cleaner of your family. But I'm the one that cleans the house. So if the carpet needs to be vacuumed, most likely it's me that does it. A lot of that has to do with because I like vacuums. But the way I look at it, when I see a mess, like I know I'm the only one that's going to clean that. So you're not allowed to eat outside of the kitchen because I don't want to clean food any place other than the kitchen where it's expected to be.
Mm-hmm.
It's a matter of, I don't know, respecting the rules and not making more work for other people. So
It's like if you had a long day at work and you got sawdust in your hair or sand in your pockets or something like that. The first thing you do when you come home, you take off your shoes and then bam, sand on the floor. So if you just take your shoes off before you step in the house, it's way easier to broom or blow the sand off of concrete than it is off of a floor mat. And then if you continue to navigate through the house and you forgot to, shake off all your hair and get the sawdust out, things of that nature, if you just come upstairs and you jump on the bed and then you lay down for a second, then you fall asleep for 20 minutes, then you have sawdust on the pillow. That's not a good thing. So there's lots of life lessons that you can learn along the way if you just maintain.
He's saying this because he knows how I feel about being dirty and like going on the bed. Like sometimes you just want to lay on your bed and relax, but if you're dirty and you have dirty clothes, you should not go on your bed. Just take your clothes, like change your clothes, take a shower, because Lord knows he will not be washing the sheets or vacuuming the floors. So
No.
you should not make extra mess.
That's true. Hipsters and hippies, would you be able to test out a Milwaukee Impact? I mean, I know most of my friends are in the Makita, and so the two that I can think of right away, it's going to be Makita and DeWalt, and the other half a dozen are Ryobi, and just no immediate Milwaukee fans.
Is that what he's asking? Is that an
Yeah,
impact?
that's rigid.
Oh no, like is this an impact?
This is an impact. Yeah, those are the ones that have your loud pounding sounds.
You don't have a lot of ones that are red.
Nope. I do not. And that's okay. I mean, I would like to, but again, it's not. You have to look at some of the channels that do produce some of those materials, and it's like I really buy some of the tools that I want to test out or I want to use or I want to keep. And so it's really hard for me to look at or even want to jump into the Milwaukee line because I don't have any of the tools. I went Cobalt because it was a good price for some of the things that I was using with the jet blower and the string trimmer. Otherwise, it would have, I looked at the DeWalt, I looked at the Milwaukee, and it just didn't. I know it would give a good color palette. Is that a hint to round out your color palette? Yeah, it would. But see, what you could round it out in like a greenish turquoise color and go that way. Or if you went subcompact, well, I mean,
It's turquoise.
The Makita.
Oh yeah, they are that color. I was thinking you were thinking of a different one.
And lime, I don't really have any interest to go.
Lime.
It's that fluorescent lime-ish.
Is it like that?
Ryobi?
Oh yeah, that's our neighbor has some of those.
Yep.
Yeah.
And so I really don't want to do that one. And I mean, I guess
saying
we could go.
That you should have an impact drill that's every single color, but I think it's just surprising because a lot of like, I guess they would be hand tools maybe. A lot of the brands are red, like Craftsman and Tekton and even Icon and Snap-on. Like a lot of it's red. And I know I'm not saying all of them.
Mac tools?
Max red. Like a lot of it's red.
Yeah,
so it's interesting that maybe they're the electric ones, or maybe, I don't know.
It's eye-catchy.
They're just a different color.
They tell you if you have a red painted kitchen, you're going to eat more.
Oh. I don't want our kitchen red.
I don't want our kitchen red either. I can tell you I've gained way too much weight with the
Corona 15?
Yep.
COVID?
Yep. I need to start working off my COVID 15.
Sounds like you need to paint some kitchen cabinets.
I need to run around the block with the kitchen cabinets.
Will that sand them faster?
No. I guess, if I used them as skis. Might be a little coarse. But, oh wow, we got your best friend.
My favorite.
Who is that?
Oh, Tarek, thank you for the Mother's Day super chat. You're so sweet. Thanks for joining the channel. Man, I just haven't seen you in a while, probably because we've been busy and you haven't had a...
Tarek, you need an email, clientgraphics@gmail.com. We can send you out a client graphics sticker.
Yep.
They're running low right now, but we'll make sure you get one. If you shoot us an email, we'll send you one out.
Yeah, thank you for the message and the super chat. I always like when you join.
I know.
Thanks for coming.
I know you were in one of the other live streams. Oh man, seems like 2 or 3 weeks ago. But
time is crazy.
My wife said she would write a handwritten thank you.
I know.
If you want a sticker, shoot us an email.
Yeah, it can come from me instead of my husband.
It's one of those things.
It'll be prettier handwriting too.
It will be.
I can promise that.
Craig can probably vouch for me that I have very, very legible poor handwriting. Some of it is
You're not alone.
Some of it is a mix of efficiency and time. I just try to get it down on paper before it escapes, and so it is what it is.
A lot of men are that way, because when you learn handwriting in school, girls developmentally, they're like ready to learn handwriting, and boys aren't yet. So it's
I just would type it out.
Biological.
I would just talk to my phone and then somehow get it to my computer and then hit the print button. But apparently they say that is not as how should I say?
Personal?
Personal. Yep. So that is apparently frowned on.
Yeah.
But I would get that taken care of.
Oh, are you trying to get caught up?
Yeah, I was trying to get caught up. The
phone and the
vouching, Craig vouching for my handwriting. Yes, Craig, thank you for the
super chat.
The $9.99 super chat. Really appreciate it.
We'll put that in the cabinet fund.
Yes, but yes, my handwriting is not efficient. Well, I guess it is. It's really quick, and it's literally like everything is cursive. Chicken scratch. Yeah.
It's okay.
Shoot me an email. I have chicken scratch for handwriting myself. Yeah. Join the club. But Craig from MC Engineering has immaculate handwriting, and it literally looks like it was done on a CNC. It's beautiful.
Gosh, I always wanted to be the type of person who could look at a certain font and then be able to write it, copy it by hand. I don't have those skills, but cryptic note taking.
I think mine is still legible, barely. But if I could have my wife write something for me.
Yeah. When I was teaching before my retirement, is what I like to call it, I taught math, and by probably the end of every quarter, it was a lot with boys or girls. I knew which handwriting belonged to which student. So sometimes I'd be grading a test or a quiz, and I'd be like, "Oh, I know who this is." And I could tell by their handwriting.
Yep.
Yeah.
So
and I always liked when the boys had good handwriting.
So we'll start wrapping up things, and I know a couple people left quite a while ago. The video that I'll hopefully be putting together for tomorrow, we had that DeWalt 3/8 impact, the Cobalt 3/8, as well as the Hercules. And oddly enough, so when I did my first testing with the Hercules, this one topped out at around 190. In the video that I will be releasing, if you actually let this sit long enough, it will do 200 foot-pounds. The DeWalt actually did 200 foot-pounds as well, and the Cobalt did 200 foot-pounds as well. It just comes down to a timing thing, and so oddly enough, again, they all did 200 foot-pounds on the rundown fixture, which, you know, it was really, I was really in disbelief myself when the Harbor Freight product did honestly 150, and then it kept going. Like, it literally almost stopped at 150, I thought, but it didn't, and then it did better at 160, and then 175, and then 185, and this one chugged through, did about the same, but we're not going to show all those. We're just going to go from 100 to 125. No, we went from 100 to right to 150, and then I think we did 175, and then I know we did 200, and that's, they might do a little bit more, but my rundown fixture wasn't, that's why I picked 3/8, because it wasn't really meant to do 200 foot-pounds in the first place. And I have to go up to a bit bigger fastener to do like 225 or 250 without, you know, damaging the threads. But I still want it to be realistic enough in the sense that that's a wheel lug. It's a wheel lug and it's a wheel stud. So it's not like I'm taking a semi truck lug that I would be doing, because that's not what everybody does. Or it's not a random large fastener where it's like, I'm going to use a 33 millimeter or something like that, that again, nobody's going to come across. So this is a pretty common 7/8/22 millimeter and the 9/16 wheel stud. So I think that's, you know, a fairly common larger vehicle size. And so it seemed like a good pick for it. But yeah, these worked way, I couldn't explain in words when the Harbor Freight Hercules did 190, but the DeWalt one did 200, and so it's pretty impressive. So
you can talk about their lights, because
I'm not really going to talk about their lights. I can.
The Hercules only works when you're pressing it and then it goes off, and then this you just have to like give it a little tap.
Oh, you know, if you need to see things, the tri lights on here up front, killer. Just love that.
I was thinking, like, you don't even have to like turn the motor on it. Well, I'm not doing it now, but I was testing it. Like, you can just do a little.
Yeah, those are things that hopefully people can try out when they're in the store on some of the tools.
I just didn't know if you were going to talk about it, because I thought that was cool.
Unless you think.
Anyway.
I mean, the video is almost already long enough, but I did not touch on the lights. I don't know how much people like this one though. It stays on forever. It's almost like I wish it didn't stay on as long. Maybe that's just me. It's not like I do a video to be like, all right, let me see which light goes off first. That's not what I think or comes to mind. I think of performance.
Oh, I know. But you have somebody like me who's not going to really ever use this. And so I look at it and I go, oh, that light's cool.
Oh, well, no. I mean, people like shiny tools. I mean, I think I'd have to go back. I can't even remember. It was a couple hours ago. But like this one has no speed selector. So it's only speed variable by the trigger, where this one has a high and a low. And the Cobalt has a 1, 2, and 3. So I think I mentioned that in there, but the light thing, that's kind of one of those things. A DeWalt drill has a great light feature switch. It's handy. Yeah, it does. I wish they had an option to turn the lights on or off. I totally agree with you.
Oh, just to like have a flashlight.
If I could say no. So yes, this is great, but you got all these other buttons.
That's what I was looking at. I wanted to see those buttons.
Why can't I turn the light off on there? I wish that there are times when I don't want the light. There are times when I do want the light. The majority of the time, honestly, though, I probably don't need the light. I mean, say you were using this to do a lag bolt on your deck. Not saying that you should, but if you did, and it's broad daylight, I don't think I need the light. So why don't I have the option to turn it off? The manufacturer probably thinks, well, you only really need a light. Tell me a reason when you don't need a light. Is it because you are working on a brand new stainless steel cat and you don't want the light to reflect and hit you in the eye? I don't know. But I look at it and don't see a lot of times. I don't see a lot of times where the light's going to interfere. It's just when you maybe get down to looking at it and say, well, it takes some kind of battery to run the lights. Give me the option to not run the lights. But I think at the end of the day, it uses so little power in the LEDs that they think that it's not worth it. So I don't know.
At least with your Hercules, if you really don't like the light, then it's literally only going to work and stay on when your fingers like engaging the tool.
Yeah.
And then it's off.
But again, they did 200 foot-pounds. It was pretty impressive nonetheless. We had Yoda Doug Tool Collecting Channel saying hello, Chris, and he also said something about Bosch. Bosch has an option to turn the light on and off on the Freak, and yes, that it does. I do have the Bosch Freak back there. I do like that on the Bosch tool. That is.
Oh.
Yeah, grab that. That's the one with the half-inch impact with the red ring on it. The light is probably not good for charging a tire.
I almost fell back there, so luckily I didn't.
These don't have. Yeah, so oddly enough, I don't have the light on right now, and it does have that feature where you can turn the light on and off. And as you can see, what did I choose? My wife brought me over the tool, and the light was off because 9 times out of 10, again, I don't need the light. So give me the option to turn it off. It's the oddest placement for the light, but if that's where they had to put it because it gave me that choice.
Oh, weird.
Great. But
compared to the other one, it seems like an odd placement, but.
You know what? I should have put that in the mix, but it's half-inch, so I didn't. But that does 200 foot-pounds as well. So let's see here. Nocturnal impacting. That's pretty funny. Yes. Oh, I have to bite my tongue. No dad jokes on that or anything like that. When you don't need a light, you say you're working at night and have an overhead light already. That extra light may mess with your vision. Wish Milwaukee had that option. I wish lots of other companies had that option. But, I mean, again, it's one of those things where it's like we want that option. It's only because we don't have it that we kind of want that.
Yeah.
Again, very few scenarios where I truly, truly see that the light's going to be impacting you, that you are going to not be able to operate the tool in the sense. So, going to have that video hopefully tomorrow if I have enough time to start editing it, or it'll be later in the day because, of course, tomorrow's Mother's Day. I did go through for Mother's Day. I used my Launch CRP129E, and I think that's one of the, how should I say, the cheapest, most expensive non-bidirectional scanners that gives you the ability to do your ABS, your oil light, your throttle body reset, and have a couple other functionalities such as free updates for what they call life. And it's true, it does get free updates. It does have updates. So if you're somebody that has a Kia, it does have 2020 in the software update. So it literally has really great coverage and a lot of modules if you are into Kia. It did not do the auto VIN find on a 2017 Chrysler Pacifica, but you were able to go in and just choose. Thankfully, you can just hit skip and not have to put in a VIN, and then you can go right into the Chevy, or sorry, yeah, Chrysler module, and you're good to go. Worked fine on a '07 Chevy Cobalt, and worked good on a Ford. Did a throttle body reset on a Ford. No issues on there, and I definitely could tell. So when I get a chance to do a video on this, I will have to say that it did do the throttle body reset on the Ford, but unfortunately that's a pretty big change to the Ford computer system. So it triggers all your readiness monitors to need to go through their cycle, so they're all not ready. And then you have to go through and you get the fun Ford error code that, depending on which readiness monitor, that takes forever to reset. It's either the catalytic, I can't remember which one it was, but yeah, I still have that. Didn't have to clear off. I'm supposedly supposed to drive for 10 minutes, anywhere from, oh, what is it, 45 to 60 miles per hour, hopefully doing a couple different steps up in speeds to clear it. Chrysler has the security gateway that locks out a lot of aftermarket scan tools. Yeah, I don't see a whole lot of Chryslers, so I just I don't have a chance to service them. So when I got a chance to look at a Chrysler today, I was like, oh, let me use my scan tool on it. And I was like, oh, dang, this is not scanning this. I would have thought for sure that this would have got in, and it didn't. It locks the programming functions. The 129 is great. It also does some, yes, it does some airbags. I'm going to hopefully get a chance, and I don't expect it to because it doesn't market it, but see how much it'll do for a Mercedes Sprinter. I think is a 2000, I think it goes up to like 14 or something, but the one I'd be looking at was like a 2016 Sprinter. Yeah, apparently we need the diesel particulate regeneration function, but you have to spend a pretty penny to get the diesel particulate reset, which this one will not do on the Mercedes Sprinter, but that's a whole different case. And if I recall right, CP the Tool Addict has an X431 that he uses from Launch. I could be wrong, but I think I at least looked at a couple of his videos where I saw him with the X431, and I think he would have good things to say about it. So yeah, so I figured for one of, like I said, oh yeah, and I had it up there. So yeah, they're really good coverage for Kias right there, showing the 2020 model. So it's got a nice update for that. And that had no problem getting a lot of top modules for a 2018 Kia. So yep, so we covered that. And one of these days, like I said, I'll get to that. That's the Icon screwdriver. Comparing it to Snap-on and a couple other ones. Like I take pictures of my tools, share them on Instagram. Don't always do it, but a lot of times I do get a chance to do that. I mean, my wife can tell you what she thinks about the differences between the two really quickly.
Oh, yeah, I've talked about these before. I've compared them a bit. Just the two?
Yeah, that's fine.
Are they the same?
Yeah, they're supposed to be the same. So like the biggest difference,
the size.
biggest difference I saw. So if you were to buy the standard 8-piece Snap-on screwdriver Instinct set, you get the, I think this is what, 3/16, where this one is the concave curved one, and you have to buy the ancillary 4-piece set to get that screwdriver, or one of the larger sets with the Snap-on kit. So I mean, you're paying like $180 for the 8-piece set from Snap-on, where the Icon one is like $50. But this is a great screwdriver, don't get me wrong. This works great for your outlets, your wall plate screws. This one has a little hard time getting in there. Doesn't get into all your carb screws super nicely. This one will get in there, but again, if you buy the right set, I think the 4-piece set is anywhere from 50 or 60 for the Snap-on one. I think we really, what did we say about the grips when we looked at these?
Well, that was the main thing I just noticed in terms of the tools, was not, their shape is somewhat similar, but they're different. The Icon one, it's definitely a little bit more bumpy. The grip sticks out a lot.
The Icon one has ribs on it here.
Yeah.
And I don't necessarily know if I like it, but I don't necessarily know if I dislike it.
Yeah. I think it just depends. What I've said in the past is I think it depends on your, like, the size of your hand. Like for me, I have a smaller hand, and I personally liked the Snap-on more because this isn't
The
as,
tri-lobe on
the
it.
tri-lobe isn't as, it's not as pronounced, so it fits in my hand better. And I really liked how smooth the plastic was on the Snap-on. Like it just seems like, I can't think of the exact word, but it feels really like nice in my hand. It feels like it's one piece, even though I know it's not because it has the black and then the green. And it's not that I dislike the Icon, but with my hand being so small, the tri-lobe thing, it's hard for me to grip, and I don't feel like I have a good grip on it. But at the same time, the Icon has gripping at this section, and not in the Icon, or sorry, the Snap-on doesn't. So I feel like if I used this, I wouldn't lose it. Like my thumb wouldn't slip. But I don't use these tools honestly ever, or even on a somewhat regular basis. So I don't know how important your thumb hold is.
Yeah, so I mean, the point is it depends on how much you want to spend on your tools. They're both decent screwdrivers. I really, I'll tell you on this, it's got the bolster. I don't think I would ever really use that too much. So it's not like I need that feature, so I don't have it here. But I don't know. I really do like these, but I also do like hard handles. So I mean,
Oh yeah.
at the end of the day, I think like the Tecton one has a great hard handle. But see, then again, you have to look at your hand size. So like you come in and their hard handle, it's shorter than both of these.
Oh yeah. Interesting.
So, I mean, but not by much, which places your hand different where.
See, like this is like, I feel like a better size for me.
So she like, yeah.
I really have small hands. I have small fingers. Like this, like both of these are just, they're big. And so for me, I wouldn't pick these tools. I would pick something more like the Tecton. Like that's what I would do.
And Snap-on makes, a hard handle that would fit her very well.
But I do like the rubber.
I know, I'm
grip.
telling you, there's something.
But I like Snap-on's rubber grip better. I like that it feels like it's one smooth, so like they work together.
Yeah,
that makes sense.
They're nice. They really are.
But I wish that the Snap-on had something like that there. But at the end of the day, I would honestly buy based on price. Personally, I would literally buy the cheapest one.
Well, then you'd be surprised
because I wouldn't use it.
That your Tecton one, I think your Tecton 8-piece set is going to come in cheaper than the Harbor Freight one.
Oh, that's surprising.
Well, I mean, when you look at your screwdriver line, if you're like a super hardcore screwdriver person, the 8-piece set isn't going to be enough for you. You're going to want to go with like 16 or 20 piece or something like that. Or it's going to be, maybe it's really only like a 12 piece, and then you're going to get your precision, which will bump you up to the 20, somewhere around there.
I guess if I used tools every day, then I probably would go based on comfort, and then whatever that price point was, I probably would just go with it.
Yeah, the SK ones are good for, I have some of their older green hard handle ones, the acetate ones, and they kind of sit now. But they're not bad.
I haven't heard of that brand.
Yeah, it's the one right up here.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Oh.
They're a good bang for your buck USA tool as well.
Okay.
It's going to be a little bit cheaper than your Snap-on product, but still tremendous value in it for being USA made. CP got the Tecton Metric Angle Wrench Master Set ordered today.
Oh, nice.
So is that the one for like your hydraulic lines, brake lines, things of that nature, which is hands down what I would pick if I was to get something versus a Snap-on product? I mean, just because it's, USA made, and it's a killer price compared to Snap-on. It's like half off. So that's, I mean, I would say, yeah, you made the right choice, because if I was to buy that, because I don't have a lot of angle wrenches, I don't need a lot of them, but if I, okay, I do need some angle wrenches. Let me rephrase that. And I will buy the Tekton one at some point in time. They actually were out of stock for the longest time. They went in stock just before Christmas, and I'm like, ugh, like literally it was like the 23rd or very, very closely to that, and they had a bunch come in, and yeah, I couldn't pull the trigger on them, but that is something definitely on my wish list, is to add those.
Oh, sorry, I thought it was on your need list.
It's on the need wish list. Want.
Rodney, thanks for stopping in. Thank you for my Mother's Day message. I appreciate it.
Yes, Rodney Whittaker, really appreciate you joining. I know it's pretty late. It's one of those things, sometimes I didn't think we were going to go more than an hour, but you never know with my wife. Sometimes she makes a cake. Yeah, were you going to show people the cake that you made?
Oh, yeah, I guess.
Yeah, she made a cake. She had to walk away a couple times. She's doing a pound cake for Mother's Day, and things of that nature. Let's see. I've seen the Bears Tekton video today with the angle wrenches. Yeah, I saw he released a video that had something about Tekton in USA, but I didn't get a chance to watch that yet.
Oh.
Oh.
There's the pound cake.
Oh, there we go.
I don't know what happened to the middle. I think that's from testing it, but this is the pound cake.
Hey, honey, if I get the cabinets done, will you let me buy the Tekton angle wrenches?
Okay, first tell me how much that would be. What am I signing on to?
It's cheap.
I feel like this is like a trap.
It's like a couple $100.
You'd be like, can I buy this? And then like I see the bill and it's like, oh my gosh, what did I commit to?
It's a fraction of the cost. We'll just say
Which is the fraction of the cost?
What the Snap-on set would be like $1,100 or $800. So it's a fraction of the cost. It's
like how you compare it to that. You're like, well, I mean, I could buy this really expensive one, but if I mean, I could buy this instead and be like less.
It would be. It'd be substantially less. There's nobody that even comes hands down to the value to the quality ratio that you get for this wrench set.
I mean, at the end of the day, the fact that you're asking if you can buy something.
No. It was a trade-off. When I get the cabinets done, can I reward myself with that?
I guess so. I mean, your friends did give you some super chats tonight for our cabinet fund, so.
It's not about even the fund. It's just
what he's not remembering is that he did commit to agreeing to taking out our desk and building a cabinet there, like a big cabinet instead. So, I mean, yeah, great. You can do. I'll just get my honey-do list going right now. Got all these ideas for you.
Awesome.
I mean, it's on video that you agreed. So
I know. I already told you. My word is my honor, or what is that? My word is like stone.
I don't know that phrase, but I know what you mean.
What did he say? No matter what, Chris is doing cabinets. Yeah, that's a true. There's no way that I'm gonna get out of it. Get the cabinets done. I still agree. I'll get the cabinets done, then I get my Tekton wrenches.
Chris, so you're doing them now? Or am I doing them?
We just have to get that project.
Teamwork.
It's teamwork.
We will do it.
Yes.
So I can reward myself with something as you will be rewarding yourself with something.
Yes, you will have nice white cabinets.
No, I'd go buy something like you would get to go buy something.
You know what? God willing, funding willing, then yes. I get mine first, though.
Sure.
Okay. Chris, I think we are on a first name basis by now, especially since you never say my last name the same twice. I thought I did. Whittaker?
I don't know. I don't recall how you've spelled it.
My word is my bond.
Oh, that's what it might be.
Work Pro Tool said, that looked yummy. Have a great night, y'all. Have a great night as well.
I'm excited for the cake.
I've been remodeling my home for 18 years. It never ends. Yes, because when we get done with the kitchen cabinets, there is 2 bathroom remodels that need to be done.
We haven't even done our fireplace.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, that needs
We have a lot
some
of
love.
stonework that we'll have to do. There was some tile, some awesome tile from the 90s that had uh, that hunter green color
So bad.
and diamonds. It was very,
So bad.
very, very great choices for the 90s.
It was a great look when it was first built. And I'm sure in like 20, 30 years, people will look at our house and be like, why would you make those choices? But I know I don't like that style.
Snap on or Snap Dry is great paint for cabinets. See, those are the things like I want my wife to help research. So when I say,
So you make me a list instead of just assuming I'm going to find everything out, and I'll make you a list instead of assuming you'll know what to do. And then there you go. Communication is key, right? That's got to be a
yes,
phrase.
I guess I will have to give her the
You should stop
direct.
telling YouTube what you want me to do and actually
No, but I want
tell
YouTube
me.
to tell you what you need to do, which is what is the best way to paint my oak cabinets white? How do you refinish cabinets to white? White cabinets.
So
Something
those are things you would put on the list.
right.
See?
List made. She will be watching the live stream over. Sherwin Williams. Yeah, and we have an account over there, so we'll just
Oh yeah.
go over there, and uh, it's where I mean, I
Is
really
Snapdry a color or is it like a?
it's a brand.
It's a brand. Okay.
It's like our ProMar 200, which is your contract grade stuff that we really like for our flat.
Yeah.
And it goes on decently. It's kind of like if you go to and you get the Bayer paint, you know that's
Oh
Home
yeah.
Depot.
I got you.
So it's like ProMar 200. Everybody knows what that is. Yes.
Witter. Witter. The G sounds like a J.
Okay.
Witter.
I will have to practice. Start with a liquid deglosser.
Gosh, see, I
Get
knew Tarek
primer,
would come
then
in
top coat.
clutch for me. You're the best. Listen, you've been more helpful with this kitchen project tonight, Tarek, than some of the other people I hang out with.
See, that's the thing. Like, she's not a go-getter when it comes to that because I can tell you right away that, yeah, I want her to take the cabinet doors off. I want her to get a sample piece where she's going to try practicing on one. I wanted to give her a light sanding to get all the big chunks off, go through the degreasing and cleaning process, and then make sure that everything dries enough so that your grains don't stand up. Then you're going to want to do another light sanding on that before you throw down some kind of primer, or I think you need to get a really good base coat of something that's going to basically you're going to have to do a skim coat of something to fill in all of the
You
wood
and
grain.
I are just so different. And it's clearly, obviously, from our backgrounds. Because I'm a teacher, and my instinct is to be like, oh, you need to learn something new. I have all this knowledge. Here, let me help you understand and take you step by step how you would do it and like help you along the way. And you're the type of person that says, go figure it out on your own. So, all those things you shared, good job. Thank you.
There literally is a YouTube video for all of it. But
Great.
Rodney said spell checking got him, so that is definitely Widger.
Widger.
If I read that right,
Oh,
if it's
okay.
spelled right.
Oh, I was going to say that doesn't seem like how you would spell your name, but okay.
Yes, I didn't think there
Widger.
was a J in there.
Okay.
Rodney Widger. There we go.
That makes more
Done.
sense.
Rodney, if you don't have a client graphics sticker, shoot me an email, clientgraphics@gmail.com. My wife, now that we can both pronounce your last name, Widger, she will handwrite you a note as well.
Oh,
I am
man.
delegating that task to her. And
Chris is using the tough. Yes, Ryan, it is a very tough love approach to expect somebody to know what to do. I don't know how to know. The other issue that I don't have a timeline. So you say you want me to do all these research projects, but to me, I feel like that would be time wasted to research cabinets because I don't know when the project would occur. If I knew it would happen, well, sure, I might have motivation to do this research that you want me to do, but I don't have a timeline. So until I guess you give me one, I'm going to spend my time and resource and brain power to do the other things I have to do.
See, and that's where I look at it and say it's a learned skill. So once you are able to tackle your kitchen cabinets one time, you're going to be able to tackle them all the time.
Sure.
It's a craft, it's an art. So when I do a head gasket once on one vehicle, guess what? If I go to a Subaru 2.4 liter, it's a boxer. So it's got a little head gasket over here and a little one over here. Well, I want to do them both at the same time.
I don't even know what a head gasket is, so I'm going to stop you there. Great.
So
I'm sure it is a great analogy.
That's one,
not an appropriate one for me.
See, and that's where there's no understanding. So
no, I do understand. I don't understand. I don't know what a head gasket is. That's all I'm saying. I don't know what a head gasket is.
It's just a concept.
Okay.
It's like,
look, at end of the day, I'm a teacher. I'd rather be with somebody helping them. My husband is not. So I guess we should just video this and just see how it goes.
So Rodney?
This has become a 2-hour couple session. I love it.
Rodney,
we're so different in how we approach things, right? But
my wife is really feisty about things, so she completely understands it and knows what wants to be done. It's just that I'm the same way. Well, I'll put up a stink about something when I should have just spent the time getting the project done. So that's part of being a self-starter rather than a complainer, where you
I'm not complaining.
Just go, you know what, I'm the one starting the project. So when I start the project, I should have started it a week ago or 2 weeks ago. And then you just go from there.
So you're saying I'm not a self-starter.
When you take the initiative to get that done, or you invest the time to get your project that is going to be your baby, whether it be your dream car, your dream toolbox, or the next best thing that you want, you got to do the work. You got to put in the effort so that you can know that your choice in what you're doing is the right one, or be confident that you at least were able to not make poor choices along the way.
So again, that comes down to the timeline. If I knew when the start date were,
should have started a week ago, should have started a month ago. That's what the winter time was for. So the first day that it was warm in the summertime, you could have got started.
Thank you for your opinion. When I am done homeschooling my children during quarantine, I will look into this.
We got JFlow444 listening to my wife and I talk about cabinets when we were trying to wrap up about the tools. So Launch 129E, great bang for your buck. I'll get a chance to do a video on that at some point. Impact drivers, good stuff. Video hopefully tomorrow on that. Way too much for torque tools. That thing right there, that's a pretty sweet inline torque transducer that'll do up to 1,000 foot-pounds. I know it'll do 750. It's supposed to do 1,000. A fortress with a moat may be handy. You know what? That would be handy. I'll just tell my wife to Google house with a moat, and then she'll get an idea how not to watch that video. Like the kitchen cabinets. That's how the whole thing got started, with the kitchen cabinets. I give my wife an idea, nothing happens. 3 months later, wife repeats my idea. That's why it's taking years to remodel my house. It happens, but there's a lot of times where, like, I can't pick out colors. I'm not good at picking colors. Where if I even bring a paint sample, be like, is this it? No, that's not the right sample. And it truly isn't. After I'm educated on what color is the best, what I chose is not the right.
I'm confused why you would say that, because you picked out our trim color without asking me.
Trim color?
Yeah, in our kitchen. You just bought the paint and went.
No, I bought the same paint that I painted our doors with. Which you like that white, so I was hoping that it was the same white.
Oh, we never had a conversation.
Yeah, I just bought the same white. Hi, have you ever tried using Italian tools and brands? I have. No, I haven't. That was from Spain. There was a really sweet adjustable wrench that it was from Spain. No, I haven't tried any Italian tools.
Tark, thank you for your suggestion on the home projects. I'm assuming you're saying me and you instead of my husband. But thank you.
Tark's a jack of all trades. He does a lot of things.
He's probably like me. He's a teacher. He gets it. He gets that people need help and guidance. They don't want to do it on their own and figure out if they're right. They want to know as the process goes.
Everybody learns differently. I just have to find that right way to communicate with them. So
well, it's a shame you don't want to teach me like that. Like you'll do your YouTube video and you'll share it, but like, why not pretend I'm your YouTube video?
I never get to pick anything on our home projects. I'm a general contractor for my daily job. I'm never home to do home projects. Hopefully you're home right now. Well, no, depending on what service industry you're in, you may not be home. But some people are home right now. It just depends. So, again, reminder, happy Mother's Day for everybody out there. Everybody has a mom tomorrow or now, depending on where you live. Make sure you don't forget your mom on Mother's Day. And I think that wraps it all up. We'll have lots of kind of new stuff that we've talked about coming out in the next couple weeks, and then figuring out projects where I don't have to spend money, so I can reroute any funding apparently to kitchen cabinets. Well, as soon as we clear out some of that stuff.
You did buy lots of good products, so you won't have to spend any new money to put out new videos. You got to put out videos for what you spent.
Right. That's exactly what
I think it's a good plan.
That's exactly what we need to do. We have lots of Tecton products that I've had for well over a year now or more that we have to. Tarek, have a good night. Have a good day tomorrow, Frank, Rodney, and Jehu. Appreciate you joining tonight. If you get a chance to see Ed, give my condolences. I know that was, a couple days ago, but I hope he's doing well and everybody's managing. And Princess Jamie, check out my channel. Yep, check out your channel. And anybody else that wants to throw their link in here before that is a moderator, go ahead and do that. I think we'll make a couple wrenches here before we leave. Ryan, you're a moderator. Tarek's already a moderator. And we'll leave it at that.
Well, thanks for joining the stream, and those of you that are still around that dropped some super chats in tonight, we appreciate it. Thanks for listening to this
loving couple.
Well, I do love you. That is very true. You said it very like.
And I love you more, honey. I love you more. And you're supposed to say I love you the most.
Oh, I didn't know that.
Oh, that's okay. It's one of those things. Yes, happy Mother's Day to all the special ladies in our lives. Text your mom, call your mom.
Yeah.
If you have kids, make sure you do something.
Make sure you have your kids do something special for their mom.
And that it might involve you.
I'm sure my husband did something really special with my kids. I can't wait to see what he did with them.
Yes. We did lots of cool things. And even if you didn't do anything, the coronavirus has put you in a predicament where you are not in a great position. Stores are not open 24/7.
Only to buy tools.
No, even those. They're not. Stuff hasn't reopened.
Oh, I just was confused how you got all these new tools.
During the daytime.
Oh, got it.
You can't go to Walmart so like Heart Tools, I don't know what they're doing right now because, as a homeowner at 2 a.m. in the morning, you're definitely not running to Walmart to get any Heart Tools to fix any homeowner issues at 2 in the morning. You out of luck. You're going to be calling a service or you're going to have a flooded basement if you need to turn some stuff off.
Yeah.
That's just how it is, which means if you forgot something for Mother's Day, you better get up at 6 o'clock in the morning when something opens up.
You can make a nice card. You can make coupons. You can make
breakfast
vouchers. E-gift card is like the way to go right now.
Yeah, fire up the e-gift card.
Yeah, that's so convenient. I've done a couple e-gift cards here recently. It's been super easy and convenient.
We meant to do a live stream on Friday instead and talk more about Mother's Day, but that just didn't happen. We had life get in the way, and then my wife reminded me tonight, and I was like, well, by the time we jump on and talk about it, it's going to be too late because most of the stores are closed. But the fact is, everybody has a mother, whether they like that or not. Some
Hopefully you
mothers,
like your mom. Hopefully
some
she's a good
some
mom.
mothers have an opportunity to do better compared to other mothers, but that's just it. You know, we as kids have the opportunity to be thankful that we're here, be a bigger, better person, take a next step to say, you know, thank you for giving me life, whether they deserve that or not. They always do deserve it in some fashion. Some people have had harder lives than other people, but the fact is you have the opportunity to have that life due to a choice.
Well, and even if it's not your biological mom,
That's a very good point too. There's a lot of
there's some really good stepmoms or foster moms or aunts, grandparents out there as well. So
yes,
that act as moms.
yes, and even teachers sometimes
Mm,
can step in and show
yeah.
gratitude and love and kindness in ways that people never thought that they deserved or had an opportunity to grow, and or they helped somebody in a way be better or do better.
Yeah. Well, lots of people in the chat tonight. Thanks for stopping in. Those of you that watched the or are watching or did watch the live stream, if you're a mom or some form of mom, happy Mother's Day. Thanks for coming on and supporting Chris's channel and spending time with us.
Yep. So go ahead and make sure you send me off an email to the people that I mentioned so we can have my wife do some handwritten notes,
I have some
as well as we appreciate
ideas.
you all tuning in. You're probably already subscribed to the channel if you are joining us right now, but if you're not, go ahead and hit that subscribe button, as well as the thumbs up if you liked this stream. You can hit the thumbs down twice if you didn't. Or, you know, people don't even like to hit the thumbs button. The chat's so hard to find these days and that stuff. You know what? Really just appreciate you watching. And as always, work smarter, not harder, and we'll catch you in the next.
Yeah. Have a good night.
Take care.